Alrighty, folks, we're back. We are back doing even more Echo because it's a prequel. And joining me, of course, is Rowan.
Hello.
So yes, it's the two of
Beam me
us.
back into fairy hell, Scotty.
So yes, this is Echo Route 65. Neither me or Rowan know much about this one. We just know it's a prequel. So we're going to see how it goes. But let's quickly have a look at where you get this from. Again, this is another free one. It is from the Echo Project's itch.io page. And it says, do you want to do this one, Ron?
I haven't got it up. You're going to have to send me the link.
I'll have to read it. It's on the, if you go to the TTO channel on the Discord, it's one of the tags there. But I'll read it for this time. The story of Echo Route 65 visual novel centered on the protagonist Chase, a teenager in rural southwest whose parents just found out he was gay in a less than dignified way. After getting off the bus from school, he flees, facing his new reality as an outed individual, and goes on a nighttime adventure along the stretch of road known as Route 65.
Cool, so it's after Sydney then.
I think it must be.
Yeah, because they're teenagers, and also we know that scene because they spoke about it in Echo, in which they walked in on him, let's just say jerking off, to something on the screen that was less than heterosexual.
Less than heterosexual?
Less than heterosexual.
That's when the exciting stuff happens.
Gay people, furries, these two images are the same thing. Apart from, I'm trying to think what I actually know about this, 'cause I watched like one episode of someone doing a let's play of it, and that amounted to the first 10 minutes. And that's basically all I know about it. I know it's got different artwork. I remember that. We have new artwork for the characters.
We also don't know how long this is going to be, so we don't know if it's going to be like a 5-episode thing, 10-episode thing, or a 1-episode thing. We'll just have to wait and find out.
We haven't bothered to look it up. Apologies in advance. We could be at this for a lot longer. In fact, I almost
Predict it's going to be longer than we expect.
Oh yeah, probably.
I also don't know if this has multiple endings.
Oh, we'll find out. For those who are giggling and wondering why, I am pansexual, and Rowan, are you ace?
Asexual and non-binary.
So, for those interested, before we carry on to the game. But anyway, let us...
This is a queer space. Be respectful.
We are going to take this furry art as it comes and take it seriously.
It deserves that much.
So,
Also, what was your persona species again?
I can't remember, probably some kind of dog.
I have a feeling it was like a type of mastiff. I don't know if
Yes,
you
that was
told me
probably
what
about
type of
right. That suits
mastiff.
my... probably Mastiff or St. Bernard.
St. Bernard, I like. That's got the healing vibes and the like nursing vibes. You know what I mean? Mine is a Canadian lynx, so I do need to redesign her two of them because that will almost certainly fix my art blocks in about 40 minutes. I can't explain it. Every time I get an art block, it is fixed by drawing my persona. However, this means that I have to sit down as a 27-year-old and draw my fucking persona. So I haven't done it yet.
Oh, God. So, yes, so for those who are not familiar, we've done the original Echo, which is all on YouTube. I think it was 18 episodes in all, including all the extras. So this will just carry on the playlist from that, and we'll see how we get on. So apart
Do you
from...
want to summarise the story of Echo before we start?
yeah, might as well do a quick thing. Might as well continue doing that. Yeah.
So Echo takes place in the town of Echo, funnily enough, which is a bumfuck middle of nowhere, stupid little town in Utah or something. And it has a history of mining, it's in rapid decline, everyone there is gay for reasons unknowable to science. and everything there is kind of haunted for reasons unknowable to science. We follow Chase as he goes to his old childhood town and meets up with his old friend group and has a lovely bonding experience, and then everyone slowly succumbs to a mass hysteria dealing around all the murders that took place in the town. And turns out that there's a lot more spook under the surface than anyone would ever have predicted.
Yep, that basically sums it up. If you'd like to see any more of that, as I said, our full playthrough is on YouTube, or if you want to play it yourself, it's on itch.io. It's free, and we would recommend it. I did
free
realize,
and fantastic.
I did realize, Rowan, that you know how we did the end of the year game?
Yes.
We didn't put Echo on it.
We didn't. Where would you like to put it?
I would definitely recommend it. I think it would probably go in the. Was it finished released last year?
I can't remember.
I don't think it was. So I'd probably say either free games or games we played this year that weren't from this year. But either way, it would definitely make the list. Anyway, we've rambled enough.
Let's see if Route 65 also makes the list.
Yes. So yeah, let's get into it and see. Actually, one second. I'll put it to options. They seem. After choices, stop skipping or keep skipping. I assume if I leave that just as it is, it should be fine.
Yeah.
So there are choices in this.
Apparently.
So
Alright,
there
well,
must be multiple endings.
the anchor is back. When did it ever leave? Let's get into it. There's a very singular echo in the ravine, a rattling of wagons resembling carpenters hammering at boards inside the highest rocks. The report of a rifle resembled a sharp crack of thunder and echoes from rock to something. The lowing of cattle and the braying of mules seemed to be answered beyond the mountains. The music most notably had a very queer effect and resembled a person standing inside the rock, imitating every note. William Clayton, Mormon Trail Pioneer. Call from Mom! No, God, I can't deal with this right now. I stare at the screen, letting my phone vibrate until it stops. I'll try to make up an excuse that it was on silent later. I'd been cringing and flustered mess since this morning. School and my geometry test had kept me only slightly distracted. With the call as a reminder, I feel a welling sensation around my eyes and my vision blurs. I suck in my cheeks for excluding a shaky exhale. Nothing will ever be the same anymore. My parents won't see me as normal anymore. All because I was daft enough to try and rub one out on the computer before the bus came this morning. I thought they were at work. Mum was usually out by 5 and Dad by 6. They took the day off on account of their anniversary. So not only did they catch me pants down, prick in hand, but they also found out I was gay in one fell swoop of a headphone-induced lack of spatial awareness. I heard Mum scream. I was so startled I jumped to my headphones coming unplugged from the laptop, blasting Fox Stallion porn on full blast.
Ah yes, we're back at Fox in the Stables.
Just when my dad came running in. I remember Mom turned, went to her room, locked the door, and I didn't see her again before I left. Dad, meanwhile, was sort of laughing nervously before I took off to my bus stop. I could tell from his face it was beyond awkward for him. I couldn't bring myself to words. I just pulled up my shorts and ran to the bus stop. All throughout the day, I thought of coming home and having to face the shame was like being dunked in ice water. Each mile we travel closer to Echo increases that feeling of inevitable awfulness. I tried to go over excuses in my head. Is there really any excuses?
Should there be an excuse?
Not
But
really.
yeah, for our non-furry watchers, A Fox in the Stable is a piece of, how shall I describe this? Adult? CGI? Cinematography? Something? It's porn. It's porn. You can find it on Pornhub. It got uploaded like 15 years ago and it's quite famous.
Yep, that's an easy way of putting it.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. I could maybe
It's an
attempt to
adult
convince.
movie.
I could maybe attempt to convince them that it was straight porn. Okay.
I don't think that would work.
Both of the guys in the video had pretty visible beard scruff, though. I rubbed my eyes. The thought of trying to figure out what my folks saw on the screen makes me want to retch. Well, I could say it was a virus to control my browser window, and it was so startling a prospect that I didn't have time to fully put on my shorts. Fucking hell.
Chase, you absolute melt.
And the erection was unrelated.
Oh god.
Fuck. I peeked through my paws at the phone screen, the symbol for a missed voicemail having appeared on the top. I gripped my teeth in extreme apprehension, turning off the screen and shoving the phone back into my pocket. Taking a moment to recombobulate, I look around. The bus is pretty empty. The bus is pretty empty besides me. The bus driver, who has been trying to get the radio to work the whole ride, and Carl in the seat adjacent to me. Carl, as usual, has his earbuds in with expensive hands held out, playing some Japanese tactic RPG. Usually we have at least Jeremy, Clint, Heather, Jasmine and TJ with us, but not today. Not many kids could go to school in Peyton and live out in Echo. I'm pretty astonished the bus district expansion covers our town. The bus ride from Peyton to Echo usually takes about 45 minutes, though it feels much longer. Especially now. 2008, November 1st, Day of the Dead.
What a year. What a year.
Good stuff happened in 2008?
I mean, that's the year I went to secondary school.
Oh, Christ.
I was 11. How old were you in 2008?
2008, I just finished my first degree. Like, I finished uni in, 2007, 2008.
Yeah, 2019
So by this point,
I finished uni, so...
At this point, I'd have finished uni, I'd have been moved from where I lived in my folks' place. I was still in my folks' flat, but it was the one in town rather than the one in Paisley. So I was looking for jobs at this point in my life. Where were you at this point?
I was 11 and just started attending Catholic convent secondary school.
Oh God!
The two areas of hell.
I think around this time I'd just applied to the job. There was like loads of jobs of like, we want someone to come be a research assistant for us doing a sheep breeding program in like somewhere in rural England, and literally it was like the only place that was potentially gonna take me up. But they were like, no, we don't really want to pay for you to get down here for a hotel for an interview. So you know what, just no bother.
Oh my god.
I had just started. Should I even say the name of the school? It's a pretty big school. I very much doubt anyone will be able to find me on it.
It's up to you. It's entirely how much you feel confident doing it. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it.
Nah, I'll say it. Gumley House was the name of my school. We had a brown uniform. Our head teacher at the time was a nun. Very tiny, very Scottish old lady, very intimidating. Yeah. So it was around the time where I was like starting to realise I might be a little bit queer and deeply in the closet as a result.
I mean, when are you an all-girls school at this point?
Yeah. My first major gay awakening, I guess you could say, took place in the final couple weeks of primary school. We were staying on the Isle of Wight. We had like a little holiday trip thing. And everyone else had like always been walking around in the other people's rooms and like seeing what the other rooms looked like. So I poked my head around the door of one of the rooms and was like fully intending on just seeing like what the other rooms looked like, because my room was kind of titchy. And one of the girls was getting undressed, and I kind of had this awkward staring moment before looking up at the ceiling going, nice room, and then just power walking out. little just becoming a gay Rowan.
Oh.
Adorable. People gossiped a lot at that. So it was several months after that I rocked up at an all-girls school and was just in hell. Just in hell. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I specifically remember the sex ed from that school did not mention anything gay
At all.
Like, they just would not talk about it. People would ask questions and the teachers would just, like, talk around the issue.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine who was in the year above had an experience with one of the teachers where the teacher downright said that it was better to be R-worded by a man than to consensually have a gay sex, because then you could get pregnant. Yeah. So, it's very, very, very fun for the queer experience.
Yeah.
Growing up in that kind of an environment.
Yeah. Come on. Shall we carry on?
Yes, probably.
I'm trying to remember what Carl... You did Carl's voice, didn't you?
I think so. Ugh.
The ram looks up from his game into the source of the music, slightly furrow-browed. Our bus driver grins back at him through the rear view mirror in a self-satisfied fashion. Her gummy Cheshire maw on full yet brief display. Realizing she's looking back at him, Carl grunts, hunching up his shoulders a bit.
Karen, why?
She lets out a brief chortle.
Well, seeing as I only have you two along with me today, I thought I'd put on some tunes, make your collar a little blue.
Carl begrudgingly pauses his game, pulling out his earbuds and letting them hang over his horns. It was still weird seeing him like this. Around age 14, his horns developed a lot. He complained about headaches and neck strain constantly. He told me he had to see a chiropractor when the stay over because his horns were so big and his neck muscles hadn't developed enough to support them. Even now, a year later, he still sits with a sort of low, hunched posture.
And plenty blue collars, yeah? I live in Echo.
She snarks again.
Boy, I've seen the size of your manor. No, you ain't. Never would have expected a soul like you to be plump and yucky-blooded. Yachty-blooded?
Yachty-blooded? Never heard the phrase. Carl doesn't say anything. His emerald gaze shifts some to the seat in front of him. Karen takes a glug from her soda bottle with a free hand, thus steering us through an on-ramp onto the freeway.
The spa day, I would have just 1 hour of your daddy's income. I feel bad if whoever works mani-pedi that shift. What?
I
feel like the cultural disconnect here is gonna get worse.
Yeah. Alright. Shows up her calloused right hand, claws rather stubbed even for Fox's standards.
When I'm not driving you squares, I do road crew for public works. Ain't your average mom, eh?
She gesticulates with a swirling motion as she speaks, lets her hand hang limply on the steering wheel.
Well, it might be the new average here soon enough. Feminism and all that. You two learn all that in college, I'm sure. What you two going for, major-wise? Juniper, have you found your mouse? Oh, good girl.
Both of us make no quick move to respond.
Chase?
I shift some of my seat, clearing my throat so that my voice doesn't crack. Well, I wanted to go into videography and film, but my parents weren't too fond of that, so I guess journalism or communications.
Ah.
Karen responds so abruptly that it makes me wonder if I said something wrong.
Well, my nephew got one of those communication degrees from North Mountain State.
Oh? How'd that go?
Ended up being a $60,000 piece of paper that earns him $13.25 an hour fixing old farts like us. Computers out of some big old box establishment. Nerd Squad, I think they're called. Ah, hell if I know.
I'm still deciding, I guess. She waves dismissively and I look over at Carl, who looks like all he wants to do is go back to playing his game.
What about you, bighorns?
Carl blinks some of the casual speciesism, then scratches the back of his neck.
You just planning going straight into work for your daddy right after you graduate? Mum, actually, I don't know yet.
Carl looks pretty uneasy with this topic. He also seems pretty embarrassed at having said mommy out loud, but around better spirits I'd probably laugh.
Everyone is good at something, Carl, and hopefully that is something you'd enjoy too. You're always quiet with your nose in that little device of yours playing games. Maybe that's your future career, something techie.
Admittedly, Leo is usually the one with the most handy at fixing our tech stuff. Carl isn't even the best at video games. That title belongs to Jazz. Carl is quiet for a bit, tugging on the strings of his hoodie.
I don't know.
Looking out the window, I see the sun is setting as we get within 10 or so miles of Echo. We pass an old abandoned water park, which I heard closed shortly after the bypass was built and all its passerby traffic was lost. I think for a moment I see what looks like some figures in the drain pool, though when I try and squint I don't see them anymore.
Yeah, I was around that place when that shut down.
I startled some, not realizing I was being watched.
Both times, actually. Once in the 60s, then again in the 80s when it reopened for a year. It was during the era of big government giving out all those water project consultations to the state for pennies. LA being the golden child. Our county, as you two squares are aware, did not become the next Orange County. Spoilers, as my son Keith used to say.
So
that's Keith's mum. Oh, fucking hell.
Which one was Keith again?
Keith was the guy who disappeared. Leader of the meth heads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
She lets out an amused grunt before stirring up some.
A lot of folks lost their jobs. It was like a little Great Depression in the middle of Mormon land. Echo's been going to tits for generations, though. And not the good sort of tits either. The really ugly ones. Like those was-a-name fields. Mrs. Tethers? Yeah, her.
I'm taken off guard at that comment. Mrs. Tethers is a particularly nasty history teacher at PHS who is not known for not being keen on vulpines. And she does have a kind of lopsided pair.
Anyways, it's a rad shame. By the time you kiddies are having kiddies themselves, this town will be a feast for termites. Well, maybe not the manor.
I see Karen's silver eyes focus on Coral.
The castle, we used to call it.
She says this bit rather strangely as if trying to remember something specific. Carl is staring at the window, avoiding Karen's stare. In the 2 years we've had her as a bus driver, she's never spoken this much. Most of the time she'd be scolding Jeremy and Clint. I have this feeling she's been waiting for this opportunity to speak more personally with Carl for a while. As we get closer to Echo, we pass more abandoned places. Some are adorned with faded Art Deco stylings of the bygone modern era, whilst others are rotting wood from the Mormon settlement days. In my current situation, all these familiar architectural fadings seem to evoke a pulsating sense of dread for what's to come.
Carl, your family been here for over a century. The way I see it, least they could do is reinvest in what they capitalized in the first place. Can you just change the radio station?
Carl's horns are pressed up against the window, his tone low but his voice loud.
Oh yeah? What do you want to send it to? Anything but this.
Carl looks down at his handheld, fidgeting with stuff in his character screen, but without the focus to keep actually playing.
Fine. What do you want to listen to, Chase?
This is the conversation for the end of the last one. What's your call, Rowan?
Do you like making you pick music? I mean, I like soft rock, but that's a me thing.
Yeah, we'll go with sort of that. This just reminds me of the jukebox at the end of Thingy's run. Jenna's run.
When they're all in the diner after everything goes to shit and they get out.
Yeah. I don't know. We might be able to get that soft rock station that's sometimes available right before we get into town.
What did you say? You want this but louder? No.
No.
Chase, kill me. End my life. Maybe I'll respawn somewhere more peaceful.
This is good for you, Carl. You're getting blue-collared, albeit, you know, the hard way.
If I wanted to get blue-collared the hard way, I'd borrow Jasmine's jean short shorts and stand assumably around the motel.
Covering our ears and pressing our heads to the seats in front of us, we endure a heck musical cavalcade as Jasmine deemed this station. Glancing sidelong at the bus window, I see that we're less than a mile from home. My paw pads start to feel clammy as I clutch my knees tight. It's fortunate that Carl is currently occupied with burying his muzzle into the faux leather of the seat in front of him as I begin to tremble. Part of me actually wants to see him. Part of me actually wants him to see. I know it's just stalling for the inevitable, but I want to talk to anyone about all this. It's a small town, but whoever I speak to will know that I like guys, and I'll have to deal with them knowing that fact every day till college. If I go to college. I used to hate being so damn generic. fucking Flynn whines about how boring I am all the time, but now all I can see are folks looking at me saying as that author who likes up the rear and not as generic Chase. God, that's what my parents will see me as too. This sort of deviant who lives in their home. I imagine them looking at photos of me around the house now and wishing they could have that back. I've never really talked to my parents about relationships and sex stuff, and now I'm just shocking them with this whole new side of me. What an anniversary present I've given them. I look over and see Carl hunched over, his horns pushed into the seat and his gaze focused blankly on the screen in his handheld. Upon closer inspection, the screen is completely black, the device no longer on. It seems that he's not in the best of states either. I swallowed, the bit of disturbing him. Carl might be my best friend, but I don't really have deep talks, especially since the lake incident. Maybe I could text someone. The lake incident, yeah.
The lake.
I slide my phone in my pocket, staring at the blank screen, much like Carl is now. I realise when I get home my parents are probably going to demand to see my phone and messages, so I'll have to remember to delete them. I try to imagine how each of my friends would react, but this is honestly foreign ground, only alluded to in traded insults and jokes. Flynn especially. The lizard drops the word faggot in any other sentences of late, though I think he's just chooses it from edginess. Jasmine, on the other hand, might be the most supportive in this sort of thing. However, she wasn't at school today. I eavesdropped Flynn mentioning something about issues with her parents in Germany to Leo, but I couldn't make out any specifics. I don't even know how Leo would react to any of this. He makes jokes about piffy stuff all the time, but I can tell there was some unease there. That leaves TJ. Carl described him as one of the most moral, gooey centres of a sandwich of our group of friends. That being said, I'm not sure how I can actually tell him he's just barely crossing the puberty threshold right now. Plus the Christianity factor. I uncovered one of my ears long enough to pull out my phone, my heart skipping a beat at the new voicemail notification. I quickly swipe over the contacts. Should I save here in case this is the turning point?
Well, I mean, this is echo choices we're talking about here, so the likelihood of any of them actually being useful is kind of low, but I am kind of curious.
Oh, this is taken over. It's still got the same echo saves.
Huh. That's useful.
Okay. So who do you want to confide in, Ron?
Well, I can probably guess that Flynn is just going to say the F-bomb a lot. Carl is currently having a crisis. Jasmine's not at school. Leo is Leo. And TJ is currently 12.
TJ's gonna pray for you.
I'll pray for you. Did I ever tell you about that time where I got accosted by Jesus people outside a shop in Paris?
No.
Would you like to hear the story?
I would like to hear the story.
So, Rowan, 19 years old, currently on holiday in Paris with friend Juniper. Stop trying to steal my papers. George is in the shop doing shop things. It's like some bookstore. I've already been in. I'm now outside drinking some water, leaning up against a wall, you know, waiting. Suddenly, 5 random Americans spawn around me. And they're like, "Hi, do you speak English?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Hi, we're from America." And I'm like, "Cool." And they're looking really awkwardly at me, and they've kind of formed a semicircle, so like they've closed off any route of escape. And I'm starting to think, am I going to get mugged? Jesus Christ.
God.
So there's this awkward silence for like 10 minutes, like not 10 minutes, like 10 seconds, and they're like, "So, we love Jesus." And I'm like, "Nice. I don't." And they're, "Oh, all right. We'll pray for you." And I'm like, "Cool." And then they just stand there, like, all around me for another 10 seconds before slowly meandering away. And I just stood there, like, kind of shocked. And, like, unsure of what to do or where to go. And Georgia comes back out, and like, "Where the fuck were you? Jesus people came and accosted me." Like, I hear the term, I'll pray for you, and that's all I can think of.
God. I mean,
what were they trying to do?
I mean, the only thing I have similar to that is when I was in uni, when the guys in my course, so I was vaguely friends with, just came up to me and he's like, "We've got on quite well in group work, haven't we?" And I was like, yes. But you always wear Satanist t-shirts. And I was like, I wear metal band shirts. They're not all Satanists. And he went, well, I pray for you. I hope you know that. And that was it. I was like, okay. Thanks, Blair.
It's just such a baffling thing to say to a person.
Yeah. In first, he's the one I've joked about in the podcast before because he's the one that told people he didn't believe in sex for marriage, then got the clap.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, right. Who would you like to confide in?
I don't know actually with this list. Because it's a very interesting list. Because we know Flynn's one will probably be very blunt and interesting. We know Carl's will probably just Carl going, yeah, that's fine. Jasmine we don't know about because it's Jasmine, we only know what we've seen about her in Echo. Leo will probably just be really horny with us, and TJ will probably be obsessed with God.
Yeah. They're an interesting group of fuzzy little critters, aren't they?
Shall we start at the top and work down?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's do Flynn first. Let's keep with tradition.
I found to myself as Thumpad hovers above Flynn's contact dimension messenger app. This... I got Gorgonzola and the mini Martin Payton. Well, that's some timing. Honestly, I have no idea what this message means. Instinctively, I try to respond with something jabby. I'm sorry, Flynn, I'm sure they have a cream for that. After hitting send, I'm not sure that was the right move. Flynn rarely responds when I text him, and that probably didn't boost my odds. Looking at the bus windows, we're approaching Carl's stop. The type of salad, you musky fuck. Oh. I thought it was a cheese. Whatever.
So did I.
Why are you texting me about salad? As the bus turns onto the neighbourhood road, I scoot over some speaking up to get Carl's attention. So I'm gonna get off with you here, okay? Carl just continues staring at the blank screen for a second before blinking and looking back at me.
Are you sure that might be pretty messy and Karen watching might give me performance anxiety?
Carl stares deadpan at me. I rest my forehead on my paw and groan, though I end up snickering a bit. The bus comes to a stop.
Carl, this is where you get off. Chase wants to get off too.
The bus.
You have a note from your folks?
Shit. I look back at Carl and he gives me a look of understanding. He unslings his backpack from his shoulders, rifling through it. Carl looks at me briefly, mouthing one word. Stall.
Ask about Keith. Let's see if he's disappeared at this point.
I do. Make a motion of holding something up behind the seat. Carl seems to have found a pen and notepad, is scribbling hastily. So, Karen, you mentioned your son Keith. The name sounds familiar. Karen gives me a rather dubious look, her silver eyes gazing up at me.
Well, I doubt you have recently. Keith's been gone a good year or so now.
Where did he go? Karen scratches the end of her muzzle, still eyeing me with some searching expression.
He's dead. Dead to me, at least.
Oh, sorry. Definitely not gonna prod there. Carl currently looks like he's trying to camouflage into his seat, slowly sliding down it.
Side.
The old fox lets out a huff and is half exasperated, half amused. She waves dismissively.
You squirt's gonna exit the bus or not? I got a big bowl of cinnamon chips and pineapple mango salad, so wait for me at home.
I shift awkwardly in my seat. Out of the corner of my eye, something yellow flutters down by my feet. With haste, I bend down and snatch up the note, acting as nonchalant as possible. Carl's penmanship is actually pretty good. I give him a discreet, grateful look as he gets up and moves to the exit. I'm coming. Carl stops, looking back with the same deadpan as before. To the front of the bus. I think I hear Carl mutter, "That's quite some range," as he turns and continues offward. Carl hops off first as who's making an audible clops noise on the aged asphalt. However, I follow and move my hand to the note. I hand the note to Karen. Her calloused hand grasps my wrist instead of the note.
I'm not that deaf and dumb, kitty. I've been doing this job a long while.
She relinquishes my wrist, the note fluttering to the ground. I can feel Carl staring nervously at us from the road.
I appreciate your curiosity. Keith and I live down in Colesville, so I doubt you'd know him. He made some seriously questionable decisions regarding his amorous pursuits, things I could not abide by.
She sifts some more in the large driver's seat, the cadence of her voice changing some as she looks at the back of the bus.
I saw you back there, puffy-eyed and trembling.
Oh no.
You afraid of something at home? I know how the people can be out here.
I'm frozen, feeling the tips of my ears burn rosy at today's endless cavalcade of embarrassment. She pauses, bending down to pick up the dropped note before tossing it in the bus's trash basket.
Especially with kids.
I'm not sure what she means by that, and definitely not sure what to say. I look back at Carl. He's averting his gaze now, his paws deep in the hoodie pockets.
Alright, I get it. No one trusts a hick bus driver to know what it's like to be a kid these days. Look, right along now. Sorry for grabbing you. I'm used to them shits Jeremy and Clint doing that and getting me in trouble.
I try hard and force a smile. Oh, thanks. I appreciate your concern and all. Yeah, they are pretty shitty.
Hey, language, kiddo.
Sorry.
Also, tell Carl his fly's down. He looks like a damn fool.
I see Carl stiffen, quickly reaching down and fumbling with the zipper. His neon orange Super Wolf box was visible through his fly. Karen just sighs. I feel my phone vibrate within my pocket.
See you squares on Monday.
I step off the bus beside Carl. Adorable. And the door shuts behind me, Karen heading back towards the freeway. It gets dark so much earlier now that summer is over. Echo isn't exactly a major township, the area deemed the census-designated place, so we don't get streetlights. Carl watches the bus fade into the distance before pulling out his phone.
Can't wait till I get my own car and license.
He starts texting.
Let my parents know you're coming over. We should troll around that 3D virtual chat game again tonight. I spent some money and got myself this big, Nushido avatar. Except I gave him big old breasts. He's called Mamaria.
He looks up at me with a smirk before turning and walking. How much did you spend? I follow, pulling up my own phone. Was texting my aunt Miss sent to you. I don't know. Oh, sorry, it's you.
I don't know, I just grabbed what I needed. $15 maybe?
That's a lot for one of those kind of games, especially just for clothing.
Well, like, Lunchador mask I wanted was one of the premium items that cost the most. Except everything else was dirt cheap.
So, can I talk to you about something?
Every single girl in that game uses the same hair, the long curly blonde one that costs like $1. At least they say they're girls. I'm just trying to be unique, otherwise what's the point? It's a social role-playing game, why risk getting ignored?
In the background we have Flynn going, "What?" and Chase replying with, "My parents caught me looking at gay porn this morning and I don't know what to do." Jesus fucking Christ, Chase. I haven't told anyone else yet, I don't know what to do.
I actually have another account with a character that's more normal looking.
What in the fucking hell made you pick me to drop this shit on it? Someone told you or something?
I made him after the last time. Yeah, you left the last time.
God, I don't know, and no one has told me anything.
He's like this big primate-looking dude with burn scars everywhere and this kind of albino-y face.
How did your parents take it?
I had the idea for the character sort of based off a dream I had once.
I don't know, kinda badly I think. I didn't stick around, had to catch the bus.
Anyway, went to a lot of the in-game hotspots at first. A lot of the stuff you and I saw when we were messing around.
I just don't want to go home right now.
It's sort of like you said, that most of the people are these middle-aged housewives who can barely type a sentence. But then I sort of went off-grid, I guess you could call it. Like the spots that aren't advertised in the destination finder. I started finding a lot of weird shit.
I'm unloading freight tonight. I tell you to call Jazz and she's better with this sort of shit, but I can't get a hold of her either.
Like, weirder than the shit we were making ironically, yeah?
Shit, should I go check up on her?
There were these places which looked like more real-life houses, not the usual fantasy exotic stuff. Just people living virtual families in these boring-ass homes, complete with framed photos or screenshots of their characters.
I was going to after work. Her third parents have been cunty as of late. You can if you want, but doubt your pansy self can handle Jed if he's there. I don't care if him and Clint are there.
I get the impression that a lot of them were, like, foreign.
Look,
I walked into this one flat with these two horse ladies in it.
Look, I don't know if I was supposed to tell you this, but Leo is going to this party thing tonight. You should go too, or not, I don't care.
They had decorations with Middle Eastern words everywhere, but they seemed normal enough.
Party? Not an echo, right? What is it for, the election?
They had a TV item that just displayed a slideshow of photoshopped photos of them with a baby. When I started exploring the house, I ended up walking into this nursery room and they got really pissy.
It's for Day of the Dead, that's today. Bunch of jocks, towny types are gonna be there. Route 65 at Parsons Manufacturing. Leo did mention it when I saw him. You going?
I thought about trolling, you know, and writing, "I eat the baby," and hopping up and down on the crib, but I don't know. It just felt like this weird mix of awkward and sad.
I just said I'll be working, but when I get off, I'll be heading to Jasmine's. Fucking the deuce, school paper boy. I was just curious, fuck you.
Are you listening?
Carl is standing in front of me with a concerned expression on his face. Takes me a moment to respond. Yeah, just texting Flynn.
He's actually responding to you?
Yeah, I know. I look up the street. Carl's house is sitting in amber, glowing glory on atop the hill slope. Apparently there's a party happening tonight. Carl raises an inquisitive brow.
Like, here or in general?
I'm not sure what you mean by in general, but yeah, around here. It's for Day of the Dead. Leo and I think maybe Flynn got invited.
What? They didn't mention it to me at all, and I asked them to their faces if they had any plans.
I shrug. Flynn made it sound like it was mainly just painting people coming out here.
Yeah, but it is weird they wouldn't mention that. Sounds about like the most exciting thing that will happen around here for months.
Carl looks off to the side, shifting his posture some.
I'd rather just stay home and play Virtua with you anyway. But seriously, what the fuck?
The idea the two of our closest friends were keeping this a secret did make me feel pretty shitty. Of all the sensations of general shittiness I feel right now. Except the Parsons Manufacturing building, you know, off Route 65.
That's sort of at the ass end of nowhere for a party. Maybe it's like a rave or something?
I shrug again. I think we should go. That's a shocked expression.
Oh, I wanna pet his nose.
Carl blinks, his expression akin to have just asked to rub his horns.
Dude.
Gets out a little huff, rubbing the back of his head.
First of all, we weren't invited. Second, it's the middle of nowhere. Third, isn't Day of the Dead for like...
Pulls his paw away from the beanie long enough to swirl around and gesticulate as he tries to phrase this right.
Latin folk? My blood's as apple pie as it can get, dude.
Alright, first Leo was there, so I don't see him not getting us in. Although it was weird he didn't invite us in the first place. Second, we live in the middle of nowhere. Anything local happening is technically in the middle of nowhere. Which still doesn't make it any more safe. Third, well, I don't know. I assume nothing too culturally sensitive is taking place in an abandoned factory. Which won't save us from sticking out like a sore thumb. Carl exhales through furred nostrils, lolling his head up as if being throttled by how much of a bad idea this is.
Dude.
He looks back down at me, a taut frown in his muzzle.
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of curious. Worst case, we step in, smack Leo, and then make it like Flynn's fetish and scat.
Best case, we stop in, smack Leo, and they have food.
And rip your tail off for a Oh god, a word I don't know how to say.
Quesadilla.
Quesadilla right now.
Don't do that. My phone buzzes in my grip. You're welcome. I got to go. Try not to suck too much cock on your way there. So it begins.
That's good advice from Flynn. I don't know if you're going to hold it out the whole way though.
Once I go for it at the start, I realise that Carl was leering over my shoulder, squinting at my phone. Christ. I exhaled, turning my phone screen off. Yeah, I'll try my best. Carl lets out a brief, breathy bit of laughter before pulling out his phone. Lying to your parents' time?
Yep, your fault too. What should I say?
What's your thoughts?
Well, we don't want them calling Chase's parents' house because then they're going to make bad assumptions. I don't think we should talk to Leo any more than strictly necessary.
Your opinion of Leo has changed so much since we did his story.
I knew it was bad going into it because, again, I watched video essays on the subject because TJ's route intrigued me enough. However, there's a big difference between having someone describe that Leo is an abusive asswipe and then having to read the sequence after Chase got his legs ripped off. Or rather, listen to you reading it. Still keeping up the Leo with that accent voice.
Chula.
Like, horrific. But like also having like just the horror of that hours-long death just sitting on you, cutting back to when they were young and like Leo is a piece of shit, man. Working on an art project is at least vague enough, but I don't know if that will work. And telling the truth is going to be interesting. So basically, I have no clue. What do you think?
I think it's probably the middle two because they're more likely to be vague than the end two. So let's go with our project. Carl texts something on his phone before moving along in the opposite direction we were walking before. I'm honestly surprised he accepted. The social anxiety is pretty bad at school. Probably realised I probably should have saved at that point in case he did anything. Maybe it's just that kind of night. I follow suit and walk alongside Carl.
Can't wait till I can get my license and car. I mentioned that already, yeah? Route 65 is like 3 miles away. That's not far.
You can get your fetlocks toned and ready for the dance floor though. I see Carl's posture stiffen at the prospect. His bright green eyes looking to the asphalt beneath us.
You don't actually think there's going to be dancing, is there? Like the movies and shit?
I shrug. Something I've been doing a lot this night. Growing up in a town with less than 60 people has made what seems like a conventional teenage experience on TV seem utterly foreign. The closest our group of friends had us to such were birthday parties when just 6 of us and our folks. Leo's dad let us drink a can of beer once. I also imagined high school parties were just a bunch of kids sitting on couches and smoking weed. But this is Echo, so...
Meth?
Do you think Leo would go to a party where everyone smoked meth?
I don't think Leo would go to a party and not tell us.
I pause, dipping my paws into my pockets. I wonder if Leo thinks we're not cool. Carl actually turns to look at me, then quickly averts his gaze to the ground.
Dude. I think that after all the shit we've been through, that wouldn't matter.
The serious statement from him takes me off guard, and I feel instantly guilty for broaching that topic. I nod solemnly, another long pause drifting between us. Yeah. Carl tells me more about 3D virtual chat, and some girls he met on there as we walk. Girls being stated with quotation fingers every time. I had tried talking to guys online myself, though, like Carl, never with my real identity. I remember I was feeling lonely 2 months ago and posted on a personal MM ad on Peyton List's website. 18-year-old otter here looking for friend/mentor was the tagline.
You're gonna get yourself into a bad situation doing that, Chase.
I included a cropped and Photoshop picture of myself at the paint and rec centre pool, my face blurred. Since I went through puberty a couple of years ago, I was pretty sure I could pass for 18 if my face was hidden. I was wrong. My post was taken down. I got a few emails from administration asking all sorts of questions. It really hasn't been the best past few months.
Chase.
Eventually we reached the Parsons building and established that closed many lifetimes ago by the looks of it. But 10 or so cars and motorcycles are parked alongside the building and neo blue light emanates from inside. The thump of bass is palatable, even out here on the road. I look over at Carl. His lackadaisical demeanour on the way here has been replaced by a tight-lipped tension. To be honest, I'm feeling pretty similar.
I don't see anyone outside here. Everyone must be inside. We just got to get in and look for Leo's big red ass. Or, you know, his face. Any idea what we should say when we see him?
Hi, Leo is a good start.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Neither of us moves.
God, dude, what if it's a rave?
There's the train sounds again.
Yep.
Do people actually still have raves?
I don't know, but I'm getting a really bad vampire cult vibes from all this. Let's stick around the back first, right?
What's the white cloak that's just gone behind him?
I'm guessing someone in a bad costume.
Ooh.
Oh, what the fuck?
Carl practically leaps, swatting in the air around him as he gets some real distance. Language. Oh, jeez. Sorry, Carl. I didn't know I'd scare you that badly. Carl stares wide-eyed at the sheeted visage before his eyes go to a lull.
Ugh. Hey, TJ.
I legitimately thought you were about to start bleating there, Carl.
Your species, this dude.
What are you doing here, Tej? And why are you dressed like a ghost?
My mum dropped me off about 2 minutes ago. I can't believe you guys walked here. Mum would have given you a ride if you'd asked. Not that I'm against you guys getting exercise or anything.
I think Carl winces slightly.
As for the costume, my mum and I put this together at sort of last minute. I didn't get to go trick-or-treating yesterday because of church stuff. So Mum said now would be a good chance with this party.
Even under all that fabric, I can still picture TJ grinning cheerily. In such contrast to the past few hours with Carl. A contrast to the whole day, actually. That's very considerate of your mother, TJ. But, never mind.
How did you get invited to this, but not us?
TJ tilts his ghostly head curiously.
My mum just told me she heard about this fun get-together here and said it'd be a good way to treat myself after volunteering yesterday. I didn't really think I needed one.
There's a pause.
Oh gosh, I've never crashed a party before. Should we just go home?
Carl and I exchange a look. Flynn told me that Leo would be here tonight, actually.
Huh? He didn't mention anything of that nature to me. I'm sure he just forgot to, though.
Carl steps out off the roadway onto the smooth concrete of the entranceway, trying to get a stealthy look inside from afar.
If you say so, man. I mean, it's okay to have a +1, right? But there are 3 of us.
See Leo in there, Carl? Carl is silent for a long moment.
I see Jack.
Who? Carl looks back at me.
Jack, shit, you might know him.
I furrow my brow at Carl. TJ physically covers his ears with this enshrouded paws. I hear the lynx mutter a faint stop.
Is it weird that we've been out here the whole time and no one has come outside? Like, I'd assume people would want to come out for air, to smoke, to make out.
Might be doing that inside.
What?
TJ's eyes bulge.
What kind of party is this?
TJ brings his paws together, wringing them as he looks at us expectantly. We don't know, TJ. I kind of hoped you would.
The sort that Leo and TJ go to without inviting or even telling us about, apparently.
Bitterness still hangs in Carl's tone as he rocks nervously on his hooves. I'm honestly still upset about it myself, too. It's the sort of thing I'd like to get us all to do together, our first real party as a group. Don't feel nearly as confident without him, without him with us. By the way, TJ and Carl are acting. I think it's the same for them too. I suppose Leo just has that effect on people. Oh god. How the hell am I getting bars out here? Fuck this. I hit ignore and walk past Carl towards the blinding searing light of the broken entryway.
Dude, wait. Chase.
I step inside and I'm instantly greeted with the musty smell of dozens of years of structural decay. The scent of dust, drywall and spray fiberglass insulation mixes with the more modern aromas of alcohol, perfume and scented candles. Looking around, there are actually quite a few lit candles lying around, their flames contrasting with the coloured gel and matted halogen lighting. Whoever set this up must be a theatre tech kid. With all the candles, I actually agree with Carl's notion this is a bit vampire cult feeling. The music certainly isn't helping. I'm expecting something a lot more, I don't know. Leo calls it oompa oompa music, the stuff with trumpets and accordions we get on Spanish stations. Still no sign of anyone. This is actually getting kind of spooky.
Hey, wait up, Chase. Oh wait, wrong voice. Oh.
It's fine. TJ and Carl come bounding in behind me.
The acoustics in here are nuts. Why is it empty?
I don't know. I don't hear anyone yet.
That's weird. Well, let's split up, gang, and search for clues.
TJ and I both look over at Carl, who has a flat expression in his face.
I'm joking. I'm literally fine with us holding tail chain style at this point. I'm okay with walking normally.
With that, TJ steps up, following in tow. We walk around the corner through the cobwebbed hallway and into the main manufacturing floor. Here we finally see some people. This is certainly no rave. I count about 15 or so people at the far end of the room and a few more in the rooms behind them. Mostly surrounding a metal keg, though a group of about 6 girls looks to be gathered around what looks like a yearbook. I only recognise 1 or 2 of them, and even then only vaguely.
I think I see Heather over there by the barrel thing.
TJ points a sheeted paw at the feline girl by the keg. Heather has a blue solo cup in hand and is laughing at one of the guys around her. Heather's one of those girls who rides her bus. She lives out in the outskirts of Echo. She's not really a part of the group, I just know her dad is responsible for maintaining the reservoir dam. I have a feeling what's in the keg isn't fruit punch, and pretty sure I feel pretty boggled at how TJ's mom was the one to send him here. Meanwhile, looking at Carl, I see pretty much all of his snark has dissipated once again. He stands in the doorway of the hall. People in front start to notice us, nudging their friends and pointing. Some snicker, though most just look confused. Especially at TJ in his ghost costume. Feeding eyes upon him, the Lynx just lifts up his sheeted arms.
Ooh.
He approaches the group in character.
Happy Day of the Dead.
I don't think he knows what that even is. Confused expressions seem to amplify. TJ in ears looks like he's attempting to hug Heather. Having not been paying much attention behind her, she turns right at the last second, the Lynx wrapping his ghostly arms around her in a tight hug. She screams and all eyes shift to her and TJ. Get the fuck off me! Oh god.
Oh god.
Surprised Lynx lurches back with a startle right as Heather shoves him in the chest. Goes colliding with the floor with a hard thump, dust splaying everywhere. The others around Heather exclaimed distress. What the fuck, man? Who are you? Get off her, you fucking creep. Amelia, go get Derek. Heather, it's just TJ. Despite my shouting, I don't think anyone hears me or at least understands me. They mostly all sound inebriated, judging from their slurs and their voices. I see one of the girls in the yearbook table get up and fast walk into the back rooms. I try to run up to TJ's side, but a large coyote steps in from the back room and blocks my path. It's an interesting backdrop. Although it does make TJ look like,
The sheet scene with Carl. That's where my brain went.
He has a look in his eyes that seems to say he's looking for a fight. TJ, meanwhile, lies on the floor with his white sheet coated in factory dust. From the sniffling noises I can hear beneath the costume, I can tell he's crying. A stumbling coyote girl nudges him with her foot for emptying the contents of her cup on his sheeted head. Another equally drunk wolf attempts to pull her back, nearly tipping them both over. She puts on a dazed expression of motherly scolding. Yo, Maria, what the fuck? Don't pour booze on the rape ghost. We honour our dead, bad touchers on this night. For some reason, this comment makes the fox fellow next to Heather bristle. Heather, this guy you was talking about, the fucker who his fists clench. Heather, meanwhile, seems to be crying now for some reason, her mascara matting the fur around her eyes. She just keeps repeating, I can't fucking believe this over and over again while her friends try and console her. What the hell are you talking about? Leave him alone. The older coyote in front of me is not having any of it. He snarls. We're sick of you sick fuckers. I don't know any of you besides her. Hey, Skip.
Hello.
Someone next to Heather yells back, you leave Heather the fuck alone, musk shit. I look behind me and see Carl is no longer in the doorway, or in here with us. Fox guy seems to be trying to drag TJ now, limply smacking the sheeted head as the Lynx tries to pull back.
I'm sorry. Hello, loud cat.
This is a misunderstanding or something. Fuck, Leo, are you here? Coyote grabs my shirt, pulling at me with enough force that my muzzle ends up smacking into his trucker hat brim and knocking off his head. I manage to swat his paw away, though not before one of the girls screams in my direction. Oh my god, he's attacking Derek! What the hell? No, I'm not. With Derek snarling at me as he recombobulates, I weigh my options. I legitimately don't know how to fight. Flynn said that I wouldn't be good at it if I tried because of my shitty otter arms. I look down at my arms. They are rather shitty. I'd have to go get help. The cacophony of screaming and snarling from around TJ is insane. These people are on fucking drugs or something. I hold to flat my paws to the de-hatted coyote. I'm not trying to fight you, I just want to get to... The coyote's swing thrusts his arm out, getting a glancing blow with his fist against my chest. Stumbling back, I scramble to my feet, taking one final look at the fetal position TJ before turning to run. The coyote latches onto my shoulder, yanking me back. Something hard smacks into my skull and I feel my mind rattle. I lurch back, essentially butt-bumping the coyote as my ears ring from the prior blow. I feel like I'm walking like a zombie now, staggering towards the door as my vision blurs.
Chase, you've been here for 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Is this what being knocked out feels like?
Am I high?
Am I high? 1 second, just
2 minutes after he eats the brownie.
Oh god. Let me just do a quick shout out for Mr. Skip. Spell it right, I have. There we go. Yes. But yeah, we're doing well, Skip. We're doing this is Echo Route 65, which is the prequel to Echo, which was the visual novel we did last year. So we're not sure how long it is, but we're gonna see how it goes. So, is this what not being knocked out feels like? I clench my fists and keep up my pace, trying to blink with the blurriness away. Eventually I reach the entrance. Carl, Leo. As I reach the outside, my knees lock and I drop to the concrete. The impact rattles my bones and I catch myself in my wrists, barely managing to avoid falling directly on my muzzle. I take a deep breath. I'm still conscious. At least, half conscious. I continue crawling, trying to ignore the throbbing pain. Carl. Shouting now, my voice sounds foreign to me, shrill, childlike, pathetic, and increasingly hoarse. Leo. My voice shouldn't be this croaky. I barely talk today. I'm in the middle of the road now. Where's Carl? I should get out of here before a car comes. I pull myself along the asphalt, feeling my skin scrape beneath my fur. I want to stand, but I'll probably just fall again. So I keep crawling, rolling into what seems like some sort of detention basin. I stare up at the sky, fighting the sudden fatigue and gritting my teeth through the pain. At first I think it's blood that got into my eyes, but upon rubbing them I realise it isn't the case. The sky is different, like someone slapped one of those coloured gel matte filters over it. What the hell? I rub my eyes again, attempting to focus. I can't stay here. TJ's in deep shit, those idiots, those assholes. Sucking in a sharp breath in my teeth, I rise to stand, praying my knees don't lock up again. Find Carl. Find Leo. I stumble out of the detention basin, feeling packed soil beneath my feet. A dirt road. Looking behind me, I realise I must have crawled further than I thought. Parsons looks over a mile away? That can't be right. I see a van ahead. Looks rusted and old, but there's a light on inside. I step stiff-legged down the roads, reaching the bend where the vehicle sits. The same redness in the sky is tinted with pulsates from the interior. It's that van.
It's that fucking van.
And immediately the ambience starts.
With the hysteria sound effect. Yeah.
I try to speak, but no words come from my throat. It's like a dream. I want to do the rational thing where I announce myself, but I can't. I move closer, peering into the dusty back window. Inside the window is another window. In the window with a little red dot in the corner flashing on and off. In the window within a window, there's a writhing, flashes of fur contorted with undulating, constant, restless motion. It'll be Leo then.
That's where Leo was.
Something is trying to hold it in place, but I hear a clap and a cry. The clapping continues, louder now, rhythmic yet singular applause. This is what you want. Oh, sorry, let's do that. Let's do the voice we think is going to be. This is what you want, says the voice that cried. I stare, slowly finding a will to speak. No, I need help, my friends. Do you know where they are? The voice shifts some, more urgent. We heard gunfire coming from town. It's real bad. Gunfire? I didn't hear everything. Please help me find my friends. We can't find them all now. We need to go. They're lost. No, they're not. I'll keep looking. I'll keep looking myself. You're just going in circles. I feel tears well in my eyes, a lump in my throat containing a choked sob. Please. The van's back doors open. I'm standing too close, they push me onto my back. The red light is gone now, replaced by darkness, shifting shadows within. I see them now, tarantulas. They're eight-legged, fuzzed with white and rust-coloured stripes. They're on me with haste, two of them, one on each arm. They bite so hard, so quickly I can't yell. They pull and tug at me, another pair at my legs. Hey JD, how's it going? I'm pulled up and into the van, my body stretched upon a squishy something that begins to sink against my arms and legs. There's no more light. I stare paralysed at what I think is the ceiling of the van in the pitch blackness. It feels like restraints are binding me in place. I try to adjust my eyes to the shadow, but everything is blurry and unclear. My head throbs like a heartbeat, the pangs of pain unrelenting. My fur bristles. Where did the spiders go? Breathing becomes more difficult as the oxygen in the van is running out. I feel the veins in my leg bulge as I try to gasp for large breaths. My body is not my own. Lights pop as the ring in my ears intensifies. Something is above me. I can sense it. There's a garbled muttering coming forth as if it's spoken through a poorly tuned AM radio. It sounds like me.
Have you ever killed anyone?
That was a good point. I like that.
Yeah. Good little spook sequence.
My eyes wrench open. I'm being dragged. Realizing I have control of my basic motor functions now, I stamp my foot down, staggering free of the grasp and pushing myself up against the doorway. I raise my fist defensively, my eyes adjusting to the light. Chase. The red wolf.
Why does he look like a kangaroo?
The red wolf stares gobsmacked at me. Would a match otter? Hang on, let me just do a quick shout for JD. So, yes, JD, this is Echo Route 65. We did Echo last year as a visual novel, a very, very LGBT visual novel with all the horror aspects. So yeah, this is the prequel to it. Well, I say
Gay
prequel.
fairy dating simulator with a horror twist.
Yep.
Or rather, it's all horror all the way down, and the dating sim was a lie.
It's good though. Enjoyed it. Anyway, I lower my paws, trying to get a sense of where I am. Hey, Sharona. That same musty smell means I'm probably back in Parsons, in front of what looks like an old first aid centre of some kind. I think that workplace accidents at these sort of places were so common, they needed one of these. Meanwhile, Leo was gawking at me, his eyes intense, searching. I look down and notice his knuckle fur is matted with dried blood. I swallow, clearing my throat. The hoarseness is gone, but the pain everywhere else sure isn't. Hey, Leo? Of all the questions I have, one pushes its way to the forefront. Is TJ okay? Wolf continues to stare at me as if I was some sort of alien. Yeah, no he is. I see his nostrils flare, disbelief and anger in his eyes. His mom's on the way here to pick him up. Heather is down there fucking doing a mix of apologising and puking. I just left him for a minute to check back on you. He folds his arms across his chest, leaning against the windowed wall behind me. Beside me. There's a brief silence. I feel his gaze swivel down back at me, as intense as before. How did this happen? Why were you two here? Leo's acting as thick now as he tries to speak faster than he can process the words in his head. Part of the question has me concerned, though. Just you two? Where's Carl? He was with me before, well, before that dick with the trucker hat hit me. I see Leo's jowls rear back in a silent snarl. He looks down the hallway. He starts to shout at someone named Amelia, though I quickly realise he's speaking Spanish. A feminine voice down the hallway retorts also in Spanish. Leo looks back ahead and grunts, closing his eyes for a moment. Then rather suddenly they reopen with the big wolf turning to me. Wait, you said Carl was here? I nod and regret it because my head feels like a smashed apple. I haven't seen him since lunch. He was. You told him you weren't doing anything today. Flynn told us otherwise. Leo doesn't actually look surprised at the reveal, though visible guilt hangs heavy in his usually confident face. He doesn't immediately respond, instead staring out at my battered self in silence. My phone vibrates, though when I check my pockets it isn't there. There's a palpable sheepish moment where my ears flick towards the source. Leo. Wolf blinks, then awkwardly hands me my phone from his own pocket. We gotta call TJ's mom. We gotta call TJ's mom. You're the only one with a phone that can get signal pretty much anywhere, so I tried yours. One from Carl. Do you want to read it or should I just do it?
I'm sorry, I just got signal. Please be okay, dude.
I'm fine now. TJ's getting picked up. I'm here with Leo. I hear the sound of someone fiddling with a stereo and auxiliary cord on the factory floor. Someone arguing music choices ensues. It seems that some people are still around for the party after all. So, what do you remember, out of curiosity? I don't have amnesia, so relax, whatever your name is. Hey, I felt the back of your head, Poocha. You've got a welt the size of a goose egg. I reach up and run my fingers over my scalp, the bump rather prominent. Alright, well... I regale him with the events of the night after TJ's bullying. Those towny shits were saying you were pushers trying to harass Heather with some debts. Fucking what? Yeah, I don't know. Or fuck. I kept calling for you. He looks surprised, then scowls at the concrete floor between his feet. I should have been there to protect all of you. Seems like someone who won the battle for the aux cords in the other room as the music starts up again. Yep, still vampire culty. Well, I got hit so hard the sky turned red for a bit. Leo's eyebrow raises some as I see his eyes move towards my head bump again. I remember stumbling around outside looking for you and Carl. I felt like I was walking for ages. The last thing I remember was a van. I see Leo shift, his shoulders raising up high as they can go. It's the thing he does when he's tense. He looks at me expectant. See anything else? My brow furrows as I try to recall exactly what transpired. I remember it felt so much different than it does now in hindsight. I think I must have passed out then. Everything else was too hazy to recall. Recall without sounding insane is more like it. Leo's shoulders lower. He seems to be in thought now. I found you outside on the road. I thought you'd been hit by a car or something. Then when I got to TJ, you wouldn't stop crying and smelled like booze. Not that I'm trying to sound like your mom's, but you had me crazy worrying. He rubs his raw knuckles. Got into it with that Fox guy after that. It'd been a weird night. Why are you even here, man? He's taken visibly off guard by that question. People here are friggin' nuts. He sighs and slowly lowers himself to a sitting position against the wall on the floor. He motions for me to do the same next to him, and I do, dusting away any leftover broken glass first, though. A few people from the football team were going. Also, this one person invited me, and I wasn't going to tell him no. I had to ask who that was, but I interrupted fairly quickly. I saw your text message with Flynn. Oh dear. It starts. There's the train again!
The train in this conversation.
About this.
Yep.
I fucking hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh, you don't.
I love it, but I hate it.
I feel a cold tingle creep up from my spine to my fingertips at those words. I should be feeling angry at this complete invasion of my privacy, but I don't. I just feel paralysed. I've known Leo since he didn't speak a lick of English playing video games with me and Jasmine after school. He'd just imitate what we said with a big dumb smirk on his muzzle as if he was saying something profound. Remember, we got really hooked on the phrase double jump that sucker. I'd been yelling it at Jazz for like 3 hours when we were trying to beat this platform game I forgot the name of. From then on, every one of us was feeling down or facing some challenge. He'd tell us to double jump that sucker with the same smirk. I look up at Leo now, trying to gauge his feelings, but his expression is indiscernible. Fucking Flynn. Why him? You know you can talk to me. I wouldn't have even got to this thing. It starts.
Controlling behaviour.
He gestures to our surroundings. 2 girls I haven't seen walk by us in the hall without even a passing glance. I look down, staring at my paws. I went from having the chills to feeling that my face is on fire. I shift some on the concrete floor. I try waiting for the girls nearby to pull me out of earshot, but they stop in the hallway and start showing each other something on their phones. Leo follows my gaze, letting out a quiet huff. Come with me. He rises up to his feet, pulling me up by my wrist. Not having much choice as I'm tugged like a rag doll, I comply. Yep, there's Leo, caring about your concussion. When... Papa. Winding our way through the remnants of the partygoers, I fail to recognise anyone. 1 or 2 say hi to Leo as we pass, although most outright ignore me. I'm increasingly self-aware of how plain I look in contrast to the plaid-donning, pierced face and spiked hair crowd. My t-shirt and cargo shorts must not be really in at the moment. We stop finally in front of one of those back exits. There doesn't seem to be much food or booze or drugs in this part of the factory, so we're alone. Once again, Leo turns his expectant gaze upon me, his brow knit. However, by now my nerves have evened out slightly and I decide to counter the earlier question. Why do you care so much that I told Flynn and not you? You didn't tell me about this. So you're queer now, eh? I get that. Just, fuck, you could do so much better than Flynn. What the hell? I'm not trying to court him, I just need someone to talk to, okay? He's not gay. He is. What? He screws boys, lots of them. I thought you knew. I don't speak to Flynn much as we did when we were younger. Especially since what happened at the lake. What was that?
I said, I wonder why that is.
He usually goes off and does his own thing as of like extra MIDI like. Leo would tease that he's going through an emo phase. Meanwhile, Carl just said he's Asperger's and French fries. I guess I haven't really talked to him personally enough to see past that. Have you? Have I what?
Flynn tisming in the back corner.
Screwed boys. My eyes bulge with such a sharp reaction that Leo holds up the flats of his paws defensively. Shit, alright, you are really new to all this, You could say that. My parents didn't know until this morning. Or I guess last morning now. I saw that. That's real rough, yeah? I cross my arms over my chest, letting my chin loll down as I stare at the dusty concrete floor. We'll try and see if TJ is out front and get a ride home with him. I'll leave you to be with your friends. I turn, beginning to move, and I hear a growl from behind me. Poocha. He grabs my shoulder, spinning me around to face him again. Why did you have to be like this, eh? I didn't choose to be like this. Aye, your adorable daftness. Do you know how happy I was when I read those texts? Like a fucking fantasy, you know? Oh no.
Oh, God, Leo.
Then I started wondering why you didn't tell me. Then I got all mad, and now I've ruined this. You didn't even know he was, you know, like us. It takes me a second to process being called adorable fantasy and a reveal from Leo himself. I blink up at him. He blinks back at me. The wolf bites his tongue for a moment, trying to think before speaking. I wish I could go back in time and redo this.
Leo trying to think before he speaks. What a horror.
I'll kick the hoovers in of that scudder, won't you? I'll protect you from here on out, and I won't hide things from you. You were the fucking gold nugget in this shit mine, yeah? I wouldn't be any different from those sloshed up bastards if it hadn't been for you guys. I think back to when we were little, yeah? I don't remember any of what you were saying, but I remember being happy because you and Jas. And you know, as you grew and shit, I started seeing you different, like. You made me happy when I was around you before, but now it's like, I don't know, Otter, can't describe it as well, it's a whole new type of happy. Like, you know, I fucking love you, but I love you, you know? So final point, don't fuck Flynn. My face starts to tingle and my heart thudding so loud in my chest, I'm sure Leo can hear it. I inhale shakily. This can't be happening, I must still be dreaming. I cut off as I spy an awkward long shadow leaning in the doorway, something bulky in his paws. Leo notes my shift of attention, turning about face to the figure. I see his muscles tense beneath his t-shirt. Chase, don't leave. I'll just be back in a second. Yeah, sure, anything. I bump my knuckles together, watching the large wolf move to the doorway. I see him grab the shadowy fella by the shoulder, trying to shift him away a little. The unknown guy thrusts what looks like a camera bag and a tripod towards Leo. Leo shoves it right back. I see the wolf lean in close, his grip tightening on the other. He mutters something. The shadow whinges, his head turning. I think he's looking at me. Starting to feel rather awkward, I approach the two. As I do, however, the figure departs back towards the main factory floor. I'm never hanging out with anybody but those from our group. From here on out, I swear, man. He curses something in Spanish under his breath. I used equipment like that before when I had to do a video story for the school news. The AV Club rents them out to students for school projects. Are you, working on a school project? I see Leo's muzzle pull into a tight-lipped hold. He steps forward, taking hold of my shoulders. No, for the love of God, Chase, please don't ask me about it again.
Oh God, it's the camera from the van.
It's the camera from the van and the bat friend.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Leo, thank God.
His demeanour seems more akin to begging than annoyance, flickers of fear in his eyes. I stand in his grasp, slack-jawed. This is beyond strange, but I can tell he's serious about the request. I'll do them after, okay? I genuinely just...
I'll do it myself. There's a reason I asked to do it before.
Give them the stuff here and I'll do them all in work around this. Alright, but... Chase? Leo, are you okay? I just want to get back to town with you, yeah? I guess I can respect that request. I'm assuming TJ's already been picked up by now. Last I saw of the Lynx, he was crying in a beer-soaked puddle. I feel like a complete asshole for not checking in on him in person. Although at least it wasn't as bad as Carl, who straight up fled home. Poor TJ is probably blaming himself for everything too. Meanwhile, it turns out Leo is gay and likes me. And despite everything, the stuff he described feeling about me, I feel about him. My emotions are too damn conflicted right now. This emo vampire music is actually resonating with me. Leo releases my shoulders and moves towards the back door, tugging it a few times. He huffs some and gives a hard kick with his foot. One of the hinges snaps and the door falls into a hanging diagonal position. With a swift stop, the other two hinges snap off as well, leaving a metal door on the floor. We could have gone out the front. Oh, well, He stares at the door with his feet looking up at me. Wouldn't have been as rebellious. You like the destruction of property, don't you? I break a mirror at one rest stop when I was 8. Because you didn't get the toy you wanted in your kiddie meal. He smiles teasingly at me, the moonlight illuminating his backside. I can see the faint purples of the sky and inevitable sunrise as well. Hey, you know we don't have fast food joints like that around here. That's my one chance of getting that figurine from that stupid dinosaur movie. Your hand was so damn bloody you thought you were the coolest. There's the pause. I step past him onto the fresh, far less musty air. The faint scent of Leo's cologne is now more palpable. I cross my arms, staring down at the rusty metal of the fire escape like stairwell. I still do. Oh, bullshit, man. I try to maintain a healthy amount of skepticism for his words now. Though looking at him now and having known Leo long enough, I don't sense any visible signs of deception. My dad actually suggested to be a decent journalist, since I'm pretty good at reading people and their emotions. Although he might have just said that to try and dissuade me from videography. Leo begins to descend the stairwell, keeping his paws hovering over the guardrail just in case. I pull out my phone, using the screen as a flashlight for us. I'm serious, you act so damn level-headed all the time. Everyone else in our group, not being insulting on them or nothing, because they're family, but they could be pretty out there, yeah? You're always so calm and balanced throughout. You mean generic and boring, man? No, like you're always hanging out in the background, almost invisible like, and then you say something snarky shit and everyone loses it. You're observant, yeah? Like Flynn, but less of insulting shit about it. My parents, my siblings, they love you, dude. My mom's always asking when Chase is gonna come round again. We reached the end of the stairwell, my insides, my ears probably ruby red at this point. The back lot of Parsons is mainly composed of old piles dirt and some foundation. Okay. Old piles dirt and some foundation, like they were planning on expanding before they shut down. I'm not gonna fuck Flynn, you can use in the compliments. I turn around to smirk at Leo, but in my disbelief I see those words just left my mouth. A little disbelief that those words just left my mouth. We start walking. Good. I have no idea what you're into, actually. Honestly? Leo looks at me a little warily, the same guilty expression crossing his muzzle once again. And, you know, muscles, I guess. I see Leo's eyes light up, his maw pulling in a fangy grin. Actually a pretty frightening visage in the middle of the night. Where anyone but Leo. Predators, man. You should come to more of my games if you want to see those. The internet exists too. Yeah, and how'd that work out for you earlier? I feel that pang of remembrance and ensuing feelings of shame all over again. This whole night did exactly what I wanted after all, distracted me from my problems. I feel Leo's eyes on me, his face softening as he places his paw on my back. You missed a lot this season and you weren't even at homecoming. I think it's more like $30. I was saving up for that multiplayer driving sim game with Carl. We eventually played it for like 3 hours and never touched it again. We won by only a few points and I got 2 touchdowns. If you were there, I would have pointed to the stands, but you were there and everything. Embarrassed the shit out of you, eh? I wouldn't want to be embarrassed, but I'd be, well, I am proud of you. In the past, I had vocally lamented Leo's ascension to jockhood. That's not his fault especially, is it?
Maybe?
I don't know. Especially his douchebag, towny teammates. Ah. Now it's Leo's turn to be dubious. He clicks his tongue against the roof of his mouth, shaking his head. You and Carl think I'm a different person now that I play varsity? Carl and I will poke fun at him about it, but I think our jokes genuinely upset him. I've never really properly apologised about all that. In reality, I just didn't like the fact he spent most of his after-school time at practice. I miss him. You've always been a block-headed ball slinger, that hasn't changed. Leo lets out a deep chortle. You gonna join the cheerleading squad now for me, Otter? I ain't flexible enough for that. You think I could do a high kick? No, but I'd pay $1 to see you try. Coming to a stop, I look down at my stubby legs. $1 is $1. That's a core of why I need to get a burger at the diner. You're not gonna film this too. Both shoulders tense, his gaze snapping to me. Chase, you said I wouldn't ask about it. Doesn't mean I can't tease you about it. He huffs, but I can tell that sort of cheered him up in a way. Just don't mention it around the group, okay? I make a circle with my fingers in a gesture of acknowledgement. I make sure there's no errant shrubbery around me before directing my muscles to lift my right leg as high as it will go. Turns out that there's a barely 60-degree angle from the stationary position. I hear the wolf snigger. Oh, come on. I might just a slack of furry stone and I can kick higher than that. We're 2 different species, give me a break. Work for that dollar, Chase. Defy species norms and negative stereotypes, as Jasmine says. There are physical limitations here, and no third-period social science class can overcome. And I don't think an otter being paid to perform a wolf amusement is exactly a progressive act. I believe in you. He says that as a saccharine and schmaltzy as possible, eliciting an eye roll from yours truly. I lift my leg, this time bracing my hands underneath my thigh and pushing up. I managed to get the thigh itself much higher, though I'm having trouble fully extending it at the knee. Leo notices and steps over, taking my calf and holding the small of my back supportively so I don't tip over. My muscles are starting to burn something fierce and the position is pretty damn compromising. I frown as hard as I can up at Leo, who bursts into laughter. Oh, okay, well, now I wish I was filming this, Otter. Dude. I wriggle free, rubbing my now sore leg before continuing onward. True to his word, Leo fishes out his wallet at the back of his jeans, hands me a $1 crisp bill. I pocket the dollar, looking back over towards Leo. Don't I get a tip? Tip comes later. Jesus Christ. I bury my face in my paws, groaning in contrast to the baritone cackling of the wolf beside me. Jokes like that have a whole new meaning after tonight. As I peek through my fingers, I see the sun has crested the edge of the mountains and the world is bathed in glimmers of orange. I've been up for nearly 24 hours now and my body feels more tingly than tired. We start walking beside the main road now, the lack of vehicle traffic giving an eerie stillness to the desert. Leo walks close to me, to the point where our paws brush against each other from time to time. So, that party. One of Leo's large ears flicks in the direction before he turns, canting his head to me curiously. Yeah? That wasn't very Day of the Dead-y, was it? He shakes his head. No, it was not. I think some of the deadbeats thought that had to do with the movie. I only really remember celebrating it once because of my home country. Though I wouldn't really say it's a celebration, yeah? I just remember my mom, dad and siblings gathering in a cemetery. We placed orange marigolds in front of the Abolius graves, lit candles and ate quesadilla. Carl would have liked the last part. Heh, no shit. The prospect of food actually helps him get over the social anxiety to come with me. I see Leo's face shift in a tight frown. Fuck man, that party probably made his issue so much worse. They barely even had any fucking food too. Some tool named Robert just brought a bunch of fruit. Better than nothing. But yeah, I remember we talked about the loved ones who had passed, told stories and sort of acted like they were there. So did you actually believe that? Those who have passed can listen in on what we want them to do? What they want them to? He looks up for a moment, the colour of the sunrise now matching the hue of his fur. Sweat stains are visible around his armpits, his knuckles are still bloody and his head fur is a complete mess. That being said, it's kind of good look for him. Not so much for yours truly though. No. His gaze shifts back ahead, his tone neutral. But it helps a living, you know? We still gotta get by. Silence hangs between us. It's pretty obvious and his mind has drifted to memories of Sydney. Mine has as well. Sort of awkwardness is common now. Sharing trauma like that is carrying on like nothing happened is usually our go-to. It's been about 4 years now, it still hasn't gotten any easier. Too many reminders here. We're all fucked up from it. Leo's overprotectiveness, Carl's anxiety, Jasmine's escapism, Flynn's rage, my hallucination, and TJ. God, poor TJ. Maybe next year we could try Jace. Leo looks at me, his eyes meeting my own before drifting his paw. Slowly he reaches over, grasping mine in his. I just want to move on. Cherish what we got, yeah? I can hear the word forget upon the lips of his tongue, but he can't bring himself to say it aloud. Instead he squeezes my paw tighter and I squeeze back. My therapist told me I should talk about it more, but it's something I just broached this in between talk of football and video games. Sure shit way to kill any good feelings in the area, that's for sure. Like, right now? Or? He brings our paws up in front of us, forking me to look at our own interlaced fingers. Seeing the size difference, the red fur gripping my own is enough to make my neck feel hot and my heart thud heavy. Look at what we're doing right now. We can shoot this sad shit about how tragic everything in Echo is, or we can go against the grain and be happy. I say let's be fucking happy. Leo smiles down at me, letting our paws fall back to their sides. Despite his motivational wording, I can tell from the gleam in his eyes he's nervous. His usual confident bravado shaken in this new territory. I don't blame him. It's the sort of thing is supposed to give you butterflies in your stomach feeling. Yet as we walk along the abandoned Route 65, I feel like I have less butterflies and more like I'm about to jump out of a fucking plane. Isn't that simple, Leo? Well, fuck. Well, fuck it. Let's pretend it was for a while and see how that goes. What exactly are you asking for? He rubs his forehead, his fanged teeth briefly gritted. I don't have to explain it. Just cheer up. That wasn't exactly eloquently put, even by Leo standards. I haven't eaten anything since lunch, swam or slept in 24 hours. I've been beaten in the head, was unable to save TJ from getting bullied to hell. And my parents caught me looking at gay porn and now will never look at me the same way again. I still have to deal with that. I'm not exactly in the best mental states at the moment. Though this, he gesticulates the two of us in a swirl of free hand, is helping. Freaking me out for sure, but I'm glad you're here. We'll make all of it right. I feel my phone vibrate against my thigh and my heart sinking. I realize quickly although it's just a text message, not another call from my parents. Mum and Dad haven't sent a text message in their lives as far as I know, saying they prefer to talk as short text messages can lead to confusion. I do agree with them on that second bit. Just had the gorgonzola salad, it was delicious. Also, Jazz is fine now. How goes your newly opened closet? Who is it? I see Leo sort of crane his neck towards my phone. He quickly recoils as I glance over at him. Dorothy. It's alright, and it's from Flynn. He tossed the salad. A magic goofy smile holding up the screen to Leo. He squints down at it for a moment, then excludes a low rumbling groan, covering his forehead with his paw. Hey, madre. He wouldn't shut up about that stupid gonorrhea lettuce stuff or whatever it's called at lunch today. I haven't got home yet, got in a fight, I saw more hallucinations and Leo read my text from you. Apparently it's got dried cherries, almonds and granola clusters mixed in with the lettuce. You serve it with expensive pear vinaigrette stuff. They usually give you a packet of it. They usually give you a packet of it in the bag with the salad itself. What an asswipe, you do cook a bit. What do you mean? I mean, it sounds tasty, the most gringo-y food on the planet, but it's still good. I wouldn't eat it by itself though, I need some sort of a soda at the side, maybe some cheap-ass cheese bread. I haven't eaten since lunch either, and I'm really fucking hungry. He's a big cock garbler too, hence why I sent your musky ass to him and his secret shit party. You two could be all emotionally vulnerable together and shit. Son of a bitch. Flynn was playing fucking matchmaker. I look over at Leo, his head tilted to one side and his lips pursed, the thing he does when he's really curious about something. He did that same damn face as a little kid too, usually when he had no idea what we were saying in our language and was feeling left out. Seeing him like this now, I actually feel more grateful to Flynn than anything. Still, I'm left with this nagging question. He said you were gay too, why didn't you tell me? So what's happening now? Me going to the party and confiding with you that I was gay was part of his plan, apparently. I'm asking why he didn't tell me he was gay. Really? Well, I feel like I should sort of thank him or something. I don't know. I show you eventually anyway. I bet Jasmine will be squealing when she hears about all this. Show me what? This is one of her comics, the mangas. I don't actually know if she reads yaoi? Don't know.
Yaoi, yeah.
Yeah, yaoi stuff or not. It's the anime porn with the twinkle triangle types, right? Nearly choked trying to contain my laughter. Are you familiar with it, Leo? How old are you again? Yeah, 15, why? Of course I'm familiar with it. I got a whole bunch of files that sort of stuff saved in my sample music folder on my PC. Nobody ever looks in there. Never mind. Weird, what the hell was that about? What? I consider showing Leo the new messages, but he seems sort of distracted now. He looks genuinely happy. I mean, a bit sweaty, fidgety and blood splattered, but so am I. The idea of ruining that makes me feel miserable. Although Flynn's whole behaviour and knowing everything about him now is kind of boggling in contrast to his usual self. I exhale and do my best to recombobulate, shifting my attention to the big old wolf currently holding my hand and looking at me expectantly. I never get too comfortable with that sort of thing. I did, and now everything's fucked for me in the eyes of my folks. Your parents are probably going to search your phone when you get home. Delete all of this. Will do. Your mom's the nicest lady. I can't imagine her kicking you out or anything. I'm not worried about that. God, getting kicked out almost sounds preferable to having to face them every day with having seen me like that. Imagine if your parents found your yaoi folder and how they'd see you from then on. Well, they shouldn't have been going through my shit in the first place. Don't triple dot me, just do it, dumbass. I slide my phone back in my pocket. That's enough, Flynn, for now, I guess. I think Mama already know about me being gay, though. What? She kept asking me if I like Jasmine, like, you know? It was annoying me, and I just up and said she wasn't my type. Mama kept prodding me with, why, Leonardo? She's such a smart one, she's cared for you all your times, on countless occasions. I try to restrain a snicker at Leo's impression of his mother, the accented high-pitched cadence rather than right on the nose. Leo hears my suppressed titters, looking down at me with a feigned scowl before hip-bumping me. I nearly go careening off the side of the bike lane into the sagebrush-filled side basin, but he yanks me back by the paw he's holding. I try to imagine Leo and Jasmine together. It makes sense, I guess, but it's weird to think about. Puberty in general has made things so much different. She went on asking exactly what my type was. I think I was frustrated or something at the time after a bad practice session, so I said not girls. My eyes widened, picturing the confrontation in my mind. Jeez, what happened next? I regretted saying it. Mama could see it was plain enough for plain enough in my mug, yeah? She just clicked her tongue, told me to let her know when I felt like talking more about it. I'm assuming I haven't really followed her up on that. No, Chase, I'm not. There's a silence between us, mostly because I'm trying to think of a response that isn't, well, I have it worse. Before I can speak, we approach what looks like a short dirt driveway that leads up to a shack of some sort. Leo stops and points towards it. Let's cut through here and head to my house through the rail yard. I don't want to deal with Jeremy right now in case he's awake and outside the house. I sincerely doubt that Jeremy and Clint would be out and about being dicks this early on a Saturday, but I don't argue and follow along. On closer inspection, it looks like one of those roadside dive bars you see a lot on reservations. This one's boarded up fairly recently. The Joshua trees and the old-timey pickup truck give it an out-of-place feeling. As far as I know, Joshua trees aren't native to this area. Huh, never heard about this place before. I have. It was open for a little while a year or so ago. Yeah, maybe the first new business I've heard of around here since I was like 7, I think. Like I said, it didn't last long. Heard from Charlie, the owner got busted for some fucked up shit with that Officer Mall cop found in the back room. Christ. I mean, this is from Charlie, so I wouldn't believe all of it. Like, what specifically? Leo shrugs, a light frown in his muzzle. Oh no, you wouldn't tell me. We continue moving, Leo kicking an errant bean can along in front of us as we walk. Can't believe Charlie's still alive. Turns out absurd amount of meth is a secret to a long lifespan. Now if I found out you've been taking it otter, I'll shorten your fucking lifespan real quick. He smirks at me and I roll my eyes, glancing back at the side of the abandoned bar as we pass. Keith and Brian's Booze Bastion.
Huh. Emotions. Hey, maybe save.
Yeah. So where are we feeling it's going so far while I readjust in my chair?
I mean, nowhere good, obviously. Not sure if a full mass hysteria is gonna hit, considering none of them remember that from Echo.
Yeah.
But something is building, and I don't like it. Also, a train again.
There's always a train. You can always hear the train in Echo.
Nothing good has ever come from those tracks.
Apart from the train out of there, maybe.
I mean, maybe. But everything else about it is just too baked into the setting. You know what I mean? Like something descending upon a town in the Old West and the train being the only escape. Like, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Alright, so should we continue?
Yeah.
The sun is now high enough in the sky that I occasionally have to shield my eyes from it as we head due east. Oh, no, wrong button. Flynn never responded to my text, which is honestly alright with me in the moment. Right now I'm trying to balance... Okay. Well, right now I'm trying to balance upon one of the rails of the train tracks, while Leo does the same on the other. It's made a bit more difficult by the fact that we're still holding hands, each tear from him yanking me along as well, and vice versa. Despite being, as he puts it, lumps of stone covered in fur, he's a lot more poised than yours truly. The phrase yours truly gets used a lot in this. I think my tail might be
found a new little thing that they enjoyed riding.
I think my tail might be a bit too thick for balance and agility. It's more suited to aquatic usage. This just reminds me how much I could use a swim right now, or at least a bath. I feel like a dusty skeever. I must be smelling musky as hell at this point. I'm a mess, but I'm a mess in front of Leo, who just keeps looking better and better the brighter it gets. I'm worried he's going to take one look at me at any moment now and realise he's made a mistake. Hey. I glance over tentatively, increasingly conscious of how clammy my paw pads are in Leo's grasp. I know we kind of glossed over it earlier, but how do you think the others are going to respond to all this? I nearly fall off the rail, catching myself with one foot in the ground. Technically it's cheating, but this isn't really a competition. What do you mean all this? He clicks his tongue against the roof of his mouth like his mom does. I still don't know what exactly that means. Shoo. My gaze falls and I feel my shoulders slump. Leo looks over, his expression turning apologetic. I can feel his thumb rub against the side of my paw. Guy, I'm sorry, we're both tired as dirt. Honestly though, if we were in bed right now, we wouldn't be able to sleep, leaving it all like this. So I guess I gotta come out and say it all plain like you are. You're my boyfriend now, right? I blink, hearing the words out loud. Though when the moment comes, I don't even hesitate. You're my boyfriend, Leo. His pace on the track slows and eventually stops outright. He turns, facing me. We stand in the midst of the abandoned passenger cars, the plants around us mostly dead or dormant for the autumn. I can't help but have this feeling that we clash with our surroundings, alive and new, and something dead and decaying. I'm reminded of a word I studied for a Southwestern literature elective I took, the quaz. It comes to me as I recited on a recorder in my brain the short paragraph which I laboured to memorise the night before my presentation. Quaz, noun, both singular and plural, referring to anything strange, incongruous or peculiar. At its heart is an unknown, the mysterious. It rhymes with Oz. To a traveller, it's often the highest quasitum? Quasitum. For me, everything, whether object, person, or event, will seem clearly in the depths of existence is quidity, is quaz. And every road, every alley, and all your parlours, of course, creak in the track of a comment, all routes to quaz for any traveller. The curious, willing to question, to go on a quest, that's for cosmic question of medieval church drama. Quem quaderitus? Whom do you speak, O pilgrim? Quem least heat moon? Let's be happy, yeah? Moisture wells in his russet eyes. I do recall the last time I saw Leo cry. It was after what happened at the lake. It was our first day back to school. We had gathered all of us grouped together. He started out fine, managing simple English and explaining how he promised he was going to protect all of us from now on. And I just kept saying I'm sorry over and over again. Jasmine was the first to step up and hug him, then Carl, then TJ, then me, and finally Flynn. We held each other outside the road and sobbed. Flynn kept yelling something about how he seemed more incensed than mourning, but I wasn't listening to his words. Leo bawled until he was hiccuping, wrought with himself. We all did. Eventually a passerby called one of our parents and we eventually picked up one by one. A funeral had happened a week before and our parents thought we were ready to reintegrate, that things were better. It never felt like things got better. But Leo was always there, keeping his promise. Now my eyes brim with tears. I think it might be in part due to our lack of sleep, but I can't hold back. We stare at each other, Leo laughing and wiping his eyes with his palms. You always suck your cheeks in when you're trying not to cry. He reaches up, ruffling my head fur, as he does so commonly. I sniff, trying to manage a challenging look. Leo looks blurry in my vision. I let go of his paw, taking him by the front of the shirt, pulling him down to my height. I shut my eyes tight and kiss him, my arms trembling as they do so. His large arms envelop me, his grasp first on my waist, then upon my face, and holds my tear-matted cheeks. I realise I have no idea what I'm doing in regard to kissing. I feel like a fool mushing my face against his, but Leo doesn't laugh. The kiss is over rather quickly, but I embrace him as soon as our muzzles part. I feel his head rub onto mine, the neediness of his demeanour which I share. We continue to stand on each other's own rail, keeping equilibrium, balancing in the centre. This makes the hug sort of awkward in structure. Actually kind of reminds me a lot of church pamphlets teaching had described the proper way to hug someone of the opposite sex. Backs hunched forward, arms around the upper torso pelvises at least a foot apart from one another. At least we were all good in the eyes of the Lord so far. It feels like several minutes pass, Leo objectively squeezing me tighter and rubbing his paws across my back. I do the same. The position starts to feel a bit sore, especially with my recent batterings, and I pull back. Leo seems to have been caught unawares, waving his arms as he tries to find his balance again. He stumbles and falls off his rump, hitting the sandy gravel behind the track. Oh shit, Leo, you okay, man? I hop down, but in my haste my foot catches. I topple over the big wolf's chest. Adding injury to injury. Leo just chuckles, re-wrapping his arms around my midsection. We meet eye to eye. Clumsy otter. I sigh with relief and kiss him again briefly, as I'm aware I haven't brushed my teeth in 24 hours as well. He strokes his fingers to my head fur, careful to avoid the bump in the back of my head before releasing me. I stand offering a paw to him. He takes it, though just for show really. He seems to have no problem standing up on his own though. So before I was rudely interrupted, I asked you how you thought the hours would take us now that we're a couple. We start walking again, this time with Leo leading. He seems to take fancy with an old rusted crane, the wolf bounding up the step ladder and clambering over it like he's 10 again. So I think Jasmine will probably dig it. Flynn will taunt us relentlessly but harmlessly. TJ will probably be confused but ultimately happy for us, and Carl will probably be bewildered as all hell and awkward about it. Leo reaches up the top of the crane steps. He peeks over the metal to beckon to me. Really? In my head I imagine when I tell Carl I'm queer and stuff, he'll just say that's gay and then continue playing with his head handheld without caring. Nah, he cares, I think. Also, I don't want tetanus. I'm good down here. He nods, making his way back down. The chipper gate in utter foreign sight as he beams at me. He's slap happy hyper. What about your parents? Oh Jesus. One day they catch me in gay porn, the next day I have a big ass Hispanic wolf boyfriend. I don't know, man. I wouldn't tell mine about you. They'd be happy for me, I guarantee it, yeah? My eyes drift down to my pocket, the weight of the phone still resting against my thigh. I still have a voicemail from yesterday they have sent me. I haven't listened to it. I see some of his excited demeanour diminish to his usual more concerned expression. Leo heads over beside me and we continue walking. Chase, whatever they say, you still got me. He approaches me and stops, his fingertips tapping his hips as he thinks of what to say. You've still got all of us in the group, and if shit ever got real bad, you could just stay with us for a bit. Jasmine does it all the time. Pa and Mama are used to having the house full of kids. Since most of my siblings moved out, it's just me. TJ's parents would never turn you away neither. And Carl, well, God knows he has have enough damn rooms that go unused. His parents are barely ever there. You could be like that one movie where the boy who lived in the walls of the house, making spooky noises at night and eating their gorgonzola. I let a small chuckle. Remember how Carl used to be really afraid of ghosts a few years ago? I got to hang out with him and play video games as a coping mechanism excuse. Still, now I have my phone in hand, I still have that same twisting dread in my gut. I'm just... it's like everything's changing and my head is spinning. My folks will never see me the same again. They won't, because you're almost a fucking adult, Chase. The curtness of Leo's tone has made me look up from my phone and back to him. Mr. Yucca. People grow up, you have, and really handsomely, I gotta say, yeah. I look off to the side, the flattery is making my neck warm and cheeks flush. Despite everything, I still can't believe it's Leo who's saying all this to me. The thing is, your parents are gonna love you no matter what. They're good like that, I know it. I bet my neck. He grabs his throat, looking down at me with bloodshot eyes and smile. Other shit piles out here are the ones I'm gonna have to worry about, because no way am I hiding that. I have chased the otter as my boyfriend. And trust me, he raises up his large fist in front of me, showing the crimson in which still stains his knuckle fur. They try anything or harass you for it, I'll make sure they know the consequences. I shift my focus from Leo's fist to the wild gaze. Man, you need some sleep. Leo blinks, then brings his fist back down to rub the back of his neck. Fuck yeah, I do. He sniffs, rolling his shoulders before looking back to the phone in my hand. Alright, let's listen to this voicemail, eh? He looks off to the side, sort of muttering embarrassed under his breath. Double junk that sucker and whatnot. It's so crazy, but I feel I want to kiss him again. I smile wryly at Leo. He just huffs. Fair warning though, you're still probably grounded as hell. I snark, my chest feeling tight and my mouth dry. Oh yeah, I know that. I get yelled at if I don't call my parents back within 5 minutes anyway. I'll miss you when I'm in lockup though. Leo grins lopsidedly. That's wild now. I'll see if we can arrange a conjugal visit or something. I take a deep breath, navigating the voicemail inbox section. Ready? I'm going to very quickly top my juice up because my throat is drying out to all fuck. How are you feeling it's going while I do this?
Well, it's almost like it's just setting up the dominoes so far for Echo. I don't really know where the story this time is going.
I'm intrigued to know whether it's a single element, if you know what I mean, like it's the single one event, or whether it's like multiple ones. You know, it started with like 2008.
More
this
of the
thing.
history, time as kids.
Yeah, because it does kind of feel at the moment like it's only really been this one element. I don't really understand why this wasn't just like a bonus one, and yeah, I suppose that different models, doesn't it?
I don't know what the end result is going to be.
Yeah. Would you think to guzzle some of this? We're on ad, so I'm just gonna wait another 30 seconds because we're on ads at the moment. Once we're done with the ads, we'll carry on. I mean, most of it has been what we kind of are aware of from running through Echo. So, yeah.
We're still firmly in setup territory, I feel.
Yeah, bottom ones every day.
What was on? Yeah. I'm intrigued to see. I am kind of hoping that there's going to be more than just one story. But I have a horrible feeling because it's called Route 65, and we kind of are doing Route 65, if you know what I mean. That it's just going to be the one story. Right.
Or it's gonna suddenly branch out, and I'm not sure which.
Well, I am wondering if the phone one makes a difference at the start. Because if we didn't message Flynn, does anything else actually change? Or is it just basically going to be exactly the same? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, are there different, like, branches you can take?
I mean, I don't see it as being something that there's going to be much different happens, if you know what I mean. Because it's all going about all this certain type, at this certain point of the story this happened, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So right, let's carry on. I can see Leo's family home in the distance now, so smoke rising up from the backyard. They must be grilling something. Ready. I press play. Oh. Well.
Is that it?
Yep.
There must be different branches.
I'd assume there was different branches. But what we'll do is we'll let it play the thing, and then we'll go back to the who do we confide in. And we'll try different people.
This one has an open box.
So yes. Okay. 1 second, I need to find something. Okay. Are you sure you want to clear your messenger history? Yes. Yeah, I think it must be that as the different point, considering the whole thing ends with you want to clear your messenger history. Alright, so let's go back to that point again. Shall we just try with Carl then and just go round?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Sorry, just trying to find something. There. Okay. Oh, fuck. No, that was right the first time. Yes, it was the first time. Okay.
Big boxes.
Right. So, let's poke Carl then. See what we get to. I guess I have to wait for the right opportunity. Right now not being it. About to slip my phone into my pocket when I feel like vibrating against the pads in my hand. So yeah, the Flynn thing is going through every time. So we just don't talk to Flynn after that. We just kind of have that point and then carry on from there. I think this is the same as before. Yeah, this is the same as before. Tell a joke this time. I make a motion of holding something up behind the seat. Carl's to fill a pen and notepad against me. So Karen, how do you get a North Mountain steak ride off your property? Karen gives me a rather dubious look, her silver eyes gaze eyeing me up. You pay him for the pizza. The old fox looks like half and half exasperated, half amused.
What the hell? Be aware, Chase, my nephew from MS is 6'9" and played rugby. You might not take too kindly to that.
Hey, Carl was the one who told it to me. Carl puts on a show of giving me a slightly narrow look before shrugging his shoulders. Don't have nearly this level cushion there as the ram. Even if it was short, it still hurts. Feels like it's fluttering in my lap. This is the note. You got awful comedic oh, it's you.
You got awful comedic timing, Chase. It was a good joke. I'll tell my nephew that one myself.
She still does
That's
the
all the
thing.
same.
They are the same. Step up beside Carl. Gets dark earlier. Let's finish this band. So what's up, Flynn? I'm at the bus stop on Elizabeth. Why is this stupid text? I think Jess is in a shit place right now. She doesn't miss school ever. Jeremy was saying weird shit about her at lunch. Again, we've just got that. I might try and keep away from home right now. I might stop by and check on her. Again. Again, it's just the party thing. So there's not really much different. So again, Carl's not really saying much. There's a party happening tonight. That's the same as before. Again, this is the same as before. I'm just trying to see if there's anything different. Do you get the same responses from Flynn? Oh fuck. I hit the be truthful one. Before we go, I want to check on Jazz. It's on the way of sort of, and she wasn't at school today. Flynn told me that her parents had been worse as of late.
Didn't know they could get much worse, dude.
I know, may as well be the prep here, but they're like the definition of trailer trash. Oh fuck.
That's alright.
He pauses, then quickly adds. Not Jazz though, also that's you.
Not Jazz, though.
I nod some to the affirmative, then begin heading upward. Begin heading upward, okay. I can see Carl looking a bit longingly towards his bedroom window, the aqua glow of his computer monitor visible from within. I have to admit that I'm also kind of longing for the same time on my laptop, though I remember the situation this morning, my heart sinks. My laptop's probably been taken away and my parents are probably going through all my files and internet history. My fists clench inwards, an inward cringe. I just need to try not to think about it. Oh, well. Crossing over into Jasmine's neighbourhood, the surface of the road shifts from asphalt to dirt. Whilst the echo pavement is laden with alligator cracks and crumbling edges, the dirt road looks even worse. Each step we take kicks up a plume of dust, the sediment covering the road's top loose and sun-like. The clapping of Carl's hooves has been muffled though, making everything some sort of tranquil. Which is odd, because hanging out with Carl is usually not something I consider a tranquil experience. Maybe the better term for it is eerie. I can see the faded masonry of the abandoned school building up ahead at the bend, grass around it pale and dormant in the November chill. There aren't many other buildings around beside it, though a few junked cars, cinder blocks and steel barrels can be seen from beside the road. Phone calls is part of Echo Tetanus Alley. Yep. You're very quiet, Ron.
Oh, dude, I usually don't even brave coming round here at daytime. It's kind of...
He gestures about with a limp flail instead of finishing a sentence. This is clearly out of his comfort zone, though I can honestly think anything outside Carl's bedroom could be considered as such. You've never walked to Jasmine's house at night?
No, without, like, Neo or something.
I nod. I get it.
If someone comes running at me with a syringe, I'm warning you, I'm using you as a meat shield.
You smoke meth. You don't usually inject it.
If somebody comes running at me with a meth pipe, I'm using you as a meat shield.
I let out a half-amused grunt, keeping wary of my surroundings. There is no wind, so the mesquite and sagebrush are static still. We walk quietly for a bit. When we reach the schoolhouse, Carl breaches the silence.
People around here hate me, dude.
I turn to look at him, the ram's face devoid of expression, his gaze distant. Well, Jeremy and Clint are vocal about it. The rest just hate everybody, I think.
No, like, you heard what Karen was saying, right? How she sounded like there was some collective shimmering spite under the surface.
Well, that's just...
Don't say that's just Karen, because I hear her in other places too, dude.
You're a spoilt, fat, rich kid. That's an easy target.
My parents sell fucking ice cream. How can you hate the ice cream family?
Ram waves his arms around before letting them flop ragdoll-like at his sides. I pause, hesitating on my response for a moment. Then it comes to me. Maybe they're just intolerant. I wait for a beat. Lactose intolerant. Carl rolls his head back and lets a surprisingly loud groan, blinking a hold of a finger to my muzzle. Shh! You're being noisy. I see the ram visibly recoil, increasing self-aware. He sinks back into himself, dipping his paws into his pockets. Carl is really different when he talks to me in comparison when he's at school and around others. He's all quiet and such at lunch or in between classes, but it's just us hanging out, he can be kind of a spaz. It's because of your ancestors, right? The town's founder and whatnot?
Yeah.
He answers abruptly, looking sidelong. I think my scolding may have upset him. You know, it's a wonder there's such a thing around here.
Sodomy and mass murder has a way of sticking around.
Which one's worse, right? They say that a bit more forced, playful tone than intended. Carl looks over at me, then shrugs.
Depends on who you ask.
I look back at the abandoned school. Something about it is giving me weird feelings. Carl and I hadn't been inside since 4th grade, now that I think about it. We arrive outside Jasmine's house, the square Suko structure, dwarfed by the 3-story school next door. I hear some scraping sounds coming from inside, like wooden dining chairs being pushed across the tile floor. As I walk towards the door, I see Carl stop at the corner of my eye. Looking back, I see he's frozen in place, his green eyes flickering from the entryway to me.
You know they don't like me, dude. Can you handle this?
I sigh, deciding it isn't worth arguing over. He's kind of right too, I guess. You going home?
No, I'm just gonna chill out here.
He leans back a bit, teetering on the edge of the road and a little bit gravel in front of the house. You look real inconspicuous, man.
Thanks.
Do you know what inconspicuous means?
Well endowed. Can you hear me?
Jesus. Yes, I can hear you. Sorry,
Okay,
that time was I'm just trying to deal with like something else at the same time. It's not going very well.
Right.
I throw up my hands and make my way to the door, knocking 3 times. Carter, meanwhile, ambles off in the direction of the old school, out of sight. The skidding inside stops. Within a couple of seconds, the door flings open outward. I'm nearly knocked on my ass. I'm instantly greeted by the smell of stale beer and the sound of a football with the volume up too high. A sight of errant plastic bags and food containers scattered around tangerine shag carpet just completes the mood, really. A stout, fat fennec fox stands before me, his eyes wide. He stares, though without meeting my gaze, as if he's looking right through me. Overall, Jasmine's dad looks like hell. He blinks some and refocuses somewhat, narrowing his eyes at me, dusting off his shirt. Chase, he rumbles. Hey, is Jazz home? Inside, I see a head peek around the corner and the fur too splotchy to be Jasmine's. Jeremy. Fuck off, Chase. His eyes is laden with derisive contempt. Jasmine's dad does not even react. It's bizarre how Jeremy never seems to get disciplined. She's in her room. She's got chores that ain't done yet, so she can't go out and, play. He steps out of the way and moves back to the kitchen where a plate of convenience store nachos and cheese sits. He reaches down to grab a chip but ends up just sticking his paw into the hot melted cheese. The old fox looks more confused than anything, his brow furrowed. Then 3 seconds pass before he actually grabs the chip. Meanwhile, Jeremy's still hard-eyeing me from over the couch cushion. I realise now that he's only in his underwear, tighty whities too. And with that, I fast-walk my way to the end of the hall, stepping over some nasty-looking stains. I guess Jasmine's mom is in the bathroom, so I give that a wide berth as well. As I'm about to turn and knock on Jazz's door, I realise it's completely open, the door taken off the hinges and resting against the wall nearby. Awkwardly, I knock on the wooden frame and clear my throat. Jazz?
Chase?
She states my name with a matter-of-fact tone. I take it as all good to enter and step inside. The room is rather cramped, adorned with old metal frame, single bed, a cedar desk, and a house's hot water heater. A stack of books and manga completely fills the space under her bed, with some sort of makeshift book nook. Her desk is surprisingly neat, and I recognise the biology textbooks from school open on top. Everything's fairly tidy, neat and organised, but it still seems somewhat cosy. It's as girly as all hell, but I feel it's a sanctuary in contrast to the rest of the house, even by the constant rumble of the hot water here. Jasmine's turned away from me, sorting something in her backpack. I see a rubber face. Your, door moved?
Not on its own. What did you need?
After a sufficient amount of face rubbing, she turns to face me, a curious, expectant look in her eyes. She almost looks like she's sizing me up, but I think it's just the way her face is. You weren't at school today, I just wanted to check up on you and whatnot. She turns, moving close to her biology book and desk, sliding it into her backpack.
Well, that's nice of you.
Her tone is abrupt and leaves me feeling sort of awkward and foolish. I guess?
Hey, can I borrow your cell phone for a second?
I hesitate. What for?
Don't worry, I'm not going to go through your text messages or browsing history. Just need to message someone.
I slowly put my phone in my pocket, although I'm definitely a little wary of handing it over. It doesn't stop Jasmine from hastily taking it and plucking it from my fingertips. Sly fox. She swipes through and I hear a telltale click-clack of touch keys. Who were you texting?
You don't worry about that, and I don't worry about this recently saved images button on here.
Jazz? She narrows her gaze at something, the white light of the device illuminating her features.
You can have a seat if you like.
I want to know what's going on.
Like, in general, or...
Regarding you not being at school today, or your door being absent?
It isn't absent, Chase. It's against the wall outside.
I'm starting to actually get angry at this point. If you don't want to talk about it, then just say you don't want to talk about it. Quit trying to make me look stupid for caring. Her blue eyes flick from the screen to me for a brief moment, then back down again.
There's nothing to talk about. Nothing out of the ordinary around here, just an average day on Cloud 9.
I see her mash her thumb in rapid succession against what looks like a delete button, and then she begins to type again.
How are you doing, though?
I feel my raised jowls go loose at the question. She looks up from my phone, resting it face down in her thigh as she awaits my answer. Her shift to concern is a little jarring, though this is what I came for, really, isn't it? As much as I would hate to admit it, her lack of domestic bliss, such a common thing at this point, has become a bit of a trite topic. It's horrible here, but everyone knows that, especially Jas. I guess she doesn't need anyone reminding her of it. I'm fine. She stares at me for a good 4 seconds before speaking.
I can tell you're not. Julie, out the way. I know you have your psychotherapist to help you deal with the hallucinations and sleep paralysis. But you should feel free to talk about her, about other problems in your life. Especially if you're unwilling to speak to your friends about them. I found that building up lots of negative emotions like this tends to attract more bad things. You know what I mean?
I stiffen with the stars here knocking on the window. Glancing over, I see 2 large pairs of horns silhouetted against the lower edge of the window pane. Jas looks to have been clutching her legs tightly, though seeing what I do, she relaxes as well. Carl wanted to wait outside.
I understand.
Yeah. I look at the carpet between my feet and slowly rise to a stand. Leo's apparently at some party on Route 65.
He didn't tell me about it.
Yeah, apparently he kept it a secret from us. We're gonna go check it out. Would you like to come? I see her knead her knuckles against the comforter, her tongue pressed against the 2 front teeth.
I wouldn't be able to get away for long, Chase. For now, it's better if I stay put.
She reaches down, taking a few more things with my phone before handing it back to me. I see the flash of messenger history deleted upon the screen for a split second before it goes back to the usual background. Looking down at her, I raise my eyebrows slightly. Thanks. I hope you get your door back.
I will. One way or another.
She nods politely and I make my exit. As I'm walking through the hall, I spy Jasmine's father still hunched over his nachos. Jeremy, meanwhile, is still on the couch, which I'm realising is also his bed. He scowls at me as he catches me looking in the fox, making a crude gesture before rolling over towards the television. I keep mutters and I'll fuck off, but I'm not really listening. I'm honestly surprised Carl accepted going along at the party. His social anxiety is pretty bad at school. Maybe it's just that kind of night. I walk alongside him, still mulling over what Jasmine had said.
Can't wait till I get my license and car. I mentioned that already, yeah?
We are back at this bit again.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be anything different, or do you think it's going to be the same from here on?
There has to be some parts different. But like, I've got a feeling Leo's is going to be different because you're probably going to go to the party with him instead. Like, there has to be differences.
Yeah.
But it probably doesn't, like, it probably ends in a similar note because it then has to set up Echo proper.
Yeah.
It's like a flicker of the mass hysteria before it hits properly.
Yeah. Alright, shall we? Let's try and... Problem is, I thought we were meant to be talking to Carl about this. But we chose talking to Carl. Maybe Sure we chose talking to Carl on this one.
I mean, it could just be that he didn't pick up the phone. Was that it?
Well, Carl was next to us on the bus. Maybe it was maybe it was Jazz we messaged.
Maybe.
Hang on. Carl was supposed to stop resting his paws upon the knees, the large back hunched over. I don't remember this bit.
No.
He groans once, his breathing a bit ragged. I stop as well, moving over to the ramp's side. You alright, dude?
Oh, yeah. I've been walking forever. Could use a bench or something.
Sure there'll be chairs at the party.
Yeah, sticky sex ones probably.
I snark. Sure we'll get used to the scene in no time.
We're gonna show up there and it'll be just Leo alone with like a gimp mask and a warehouse full of rubber ducks.
Sounds like a dream I once had. There's that sort of raspy laugh, pushing himself back upright again. I give his side a little rough nudge and we begin walking once more. The road here is much better maintained than most of Echo's on account of it being a state route, so it doesn't get much usage. I think Flynn told me once it was part of the early highway system that had repurposed in the 90s. The interstate freeway is about 30 miles to the east, gets most of the traffic this road used to. If you want to get into the major city, you take the interstate. There's little reason beyond sightseeing to take the slow highway. Never really understood the appeal of people that do stuff like that, set their GPS to avoid freeways and for the scenic stuff. Everything on these long highway stretches has been mostly shuttered without a gas station for hundreds of miles. That's just decay and debris. I don't get why anyone would be reminded of it for fun. I mean, I live in the middle of it, so maybe that's why it doesn't seem so exotic, enticing, or southwest gothic. Failing local economies and being trapped in the midst of them is just a way of sucking the fun out of things. Walking along now, the remnants of bygone highway era still dot the landscape. To our right, there's an abandoned trailer park, most of it empty besides the crumbling admin building and one or two remaining trailers. They're all graffitied to high hell, though. It's funny how spray-painted initials crop up in deserted structures, seeming the same rate rust and dust take over. Sidney and Flynn convinced me to tag an outhouse once when I was 10. The end result didn't look anywhere near as good as the bold yet indecipherable text that adorns the outer wall of the chipped 70s RV beside me. I ended up feeling so guilty I told my mum. We went back out of the outhouse after dark with soap and scrubbing stuff and I managed to get it all off. The next day Sidney and Flynn were confused as to where my tag went. I told them I didn't know what they were talking about. My mum thought it was funny. At the thought of Mum, I arose from my brooding glance out along to Carl. He has a dull, vacant look in his face, his mind clearly elsewhere. I feel a cold sweat take me and a weird lurching in my stomach. Christ can actually do this? To come out to him in the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere? I'm going to be stuck in this town for at least 3 more years and then I'm free, hopefully. If this goes badly, more badly than it already has, I just have to stick it out till college. Hey, Carl. The words leave my throat with a forced sounding utterance, surprising myself. Ram slowly blinks back to reality, then responds.
Yeah.
So, something kind of messed up happened this morning. See the flicker of his eyes shift towards my direction.
This have to do with Karen was going on about. I wasn't gonna ask her nothing.
So we had noticed after all. Sort of, yeah. I see Carl shift awkwardly. He's never the person to go to with serious stuff. I could tell he's wondering why I'm breaking our mutual unspoken let's keep it light pact. That being said, I definitely have his full attention.
Oh, okay. What's up?
I see the outline of the Parsons building now, but we're still a pretty damn long way away. So I like guys. Can't really read the expression change in the dark, but it definitely did.
Really?
Yeah, have since we went through puberty.
Are you like, sure, you're pretty down to earth? I mean, sort of an asshole at times, but yeah, plain.
I rub my temple, letting out a little grunt. You're making me feel better already.
Hopefully not too good. Though I doubt you're into boobs anyhow.
He grabs his pectorals, giving them a squeeze. Well, you got a pretty mouth. I cringe instantly at myself. Why the fuck would I say that? Fortunately, I see the glint of Carl's teeth and know that he's grinning.
So Flynn's advice was actually relevant after all. Does he like, no?
No, you're the first person I've told.
Whoa, dude. That's pretty heavy.
I try to think up something to say, trying to be as nonchalant as possible. I guess I'm trying to show Carl that I'm not really any different. Well, you're pretty heavy, so I thought you could handle it. He looks down at his gut, then back up again. Carl isn't really grotesquely overweight. His whole body is proportionally large. Well, maybe not in height, but there's still a few years. Who knows, maybe he'll turn out huge like Leo.
What do your mum and pop think about it?
He didn't know until this morning. He caught me watching gay porn.
Fuck, dude.
I hear him exhale through his large nostrils. I make
my parents knock. There's like a mutual agreement that isn't good for either of us if they walk in on a jerk out session. They're never usually home anyway.
Yeah, that's nice. I see the ram's form rise and slump again. I shrug. I don't think my parents took it well. This whole outing is keeping my mind off things.
I'm sorry, dude. Really, yeah? Ugh, I kind of cringe secondhand thinking about it, actually.
Oh, hang on one second. There we go. A single car passes us, the first one we've seen all night. We stop talking as it passes. We feel the eyes of the driver upon us. We're definitely an odd sight, an otter in a ram in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night.
So yeah, does this mean I get to say the F word whenever I want, on account of my best friend being gay and stuff?
I mean, as long as you don't turn into Flynn with it, then yeah, sure.
That's like the best news I've heard all day. I can finally talk smack back properly to the 12-year-olds online.
I snicker a little and silence falls between us. I'm not sure exactly what to say after all that. Carl seems a little less jokey too, his horns tilted down, so I know he's staring at the road as he walks. It's getting noticeably chillier outside. The desert soil doesn't do a great job of retaining heat already, and it's much worse in late fall and winter months. I cross my arms tight across my chest, and envying those with thicker fur and pants instead of shorts. Peering ahead, I can see our destination is still like a mile away. To my surprise, Carl breaks the silence, clearing his throat first.
You know,
I watch him from his side, not sure. Watch from his side, not about to interrupt, even if I can't make the right words. Even if he can't make the right words for the right. Make the right words form right away. Christ, I went too many times to read that.
sometimes when I'm like feeling bad, I sort of have this little pretend.
I see him look over at me, then he smiles, shaking his head rapidly.
Nah.
What? Go on.
Can't say this. It's lame as shit.
I just told you I'm gay and got caught watching gay porn. What's lamer than that?
It's not even lame, it's just shit luck and way too good headphones.
They were the in-ear kind, bud. Dangerous choices there, dude. Sorry, it's you.
Dangerous choice there, dude.
Come on.
Yeah.
He grunts indignantly.
I sometimes...
He takes in a deep breath, clutching his paws together inside the front pocket of his hoodie.
Ugh, fuck it. I'm imagining a girlfriend in my head and she chills me out.
Wow. Wow.
Don't wow me. Have a good imagination or something and it works out.
Is she hot?
Yeah, completely. Short, spiked blonde head fur, dark grey eyes, real athletic body, double D, 2 foot long dick. She's amazing.
What was the last one?
She's amazing. You have one?
I glance over and see Carl look at me expectantly. Are we just putting all our embarrassing shames out in the open here tonight?
I did.
I think for now let's just do what normal grown-ups do and suppress the rest. I see Carl sort of smile awkwardly, then rather quickly look away.
If you say so.
I'm honestly astonished how quickly the tables turned in this confiding. Even in the dark I could tell he's trying to act all nonchalant and uncaring, but he visibly is tense as hell. That imaginary girlfriend thing must have meant a lot to him. He's playing it off with humour, but I've known him long enough to see through all that. Hey. I see him flinch, looking over his shoulder towards me.
Sup?
You're not weird. doesn't respond beyond faking an amused grunt. I take a deep. Okay. Preparing to further delve into the real talk that the conversation is about to become. I was feeling lonely 2 months ago and posted a personal mail for mail ad on Peyton List website. 18-year-old otter here looking for friend, mentor, or something was the tagline. I put the crop Photoshop myself, my face blurred. It was that time I went after showed the Super Wolf movie in the 3D theatre place with you, Jas and Leo. Since I went through puberty a couple of years ago, I was pretty sure I could pass for 18 and my face was hidden. I was wrong. My post was taken down. I got a few emails from administrators asking all sorts of questions, including some kind of vague, threatening stuff. This really hasn't been the best past few months. I see Carol bounce his knuckles together, taking all that information in. That's weird. Trying to find some mysterious fancy stranger on the internet who will make everything right when I'm not even remotely old enough. Because I'm too much of a pussy to risk being just being seen as anything other than what I've always been seen as. I let out a puff of air, fidgeting some and feeling my heart thud heavily in my chest.
And that's scary as hell, dude.
Another long silence.
Her name is Danica. She's an otter. Has glasses. Kind of crooked teeth so she doesn't open her mouth when she smiles. She's really into video games, illustration and clothes, I guess. When I'm doing my drawing, she inspires me, sort of. Danica is like, what's the word for it? My muse? I'm nowhere even good enough to justify having one. But she makes me want to do and make stuff. And I'm supposed to, you know, nothing.
Well, sorry for offending her if she's, well, present, but it's probably healthy if you're a real girlfriend, but for now, yeah, I understand. The ram smacked sheepishly, the lights from the illuminated Parsons building close enough now that I can see he's biting his cheek.
Yes, same place in the room. I guess, same goes for you. With a real boyfriend, I mean.
He lets out a short huff of air.
Fuck, that's weird to say not as a joke. I'm serious, but seriously, thanks, dude.
No problem, man. Eventually we reached the Parsons building, an establishment that closed many lifetimes ago by the looks of it. Yeah, we're back at this bit again. Looks like we're going to be back to speeding on and trying to find out which bit is different this time. I imagine it's probably going to be the same till after we get locked out. Maybe Carl stays this time. We just shared something. What do you think?
I mean, maybe, but it is still Carl pre-having his character development.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. So let's spin on a bit. Are we just going to have the same point where TJ turns up?
Probably.
There's TJ.
Yep. That's cute, though.
Yeah.
Adorable.
I'm still confused how TJ's mom heard about this party when it seems to be really backwater.
Yeah, like, what did she overhear that she thought, ah, yes, the small child who goes to church can go to this, you know? And in reality, they get fucking beat up because drug.
Because he's an excitable child that's ran at someone in a ghost costume.
And that someone was Heather.
Yeah, but Heather's really into him, isn't it? On one of the other scenes, or was that later on?
When she was like, when they were both older, I know they dated briefly, but it's still Heather. Heather is a mess.
Yeah. See if I could just spam faster than clicking faster. There we go. Can't really do much as it's going to do all this apart from watching the nice visions change.
This seems the same.
This is just chasing his own, so I'm assuming it will be. I imagine it'll probably be the same till we get to Leo. Then Leo can't have heard that he's gay from reading his phone this time, so... I like the eyes in that bit. The really sunken eyes.
Yeah. Horrible. Yeah,
Right.
there he is. We should probably look up, like, how the roots divulge, like, online before we continue on with it. Because otherwise we're probably going to start missing stuff by accident.
Yeah. Do you want to do that while I sit on to where we get the phone?
I can take a look.
Carl was here, Carl didn't stay. Okay, Leo now gets the phone. So that skips the thing of him having the awkward moment. Ask him what you remember. That's the same. That's the van.
Yeah, choosing to confide in each of the 5 supporting characters leads to a distinct storyline, although the variation between routes is less pronounced than in Echo. And it's written by one guy.
One person invites me. When he asks who it was, Leo responds with, "A couple of weeks ago." Oh, no, wrong accent. A couple of weeks ago, I was looking for lawnmowers for sale. Okay. On Peyton list. Okay. I was bored, so I was clicking around a bit. There was this personal ad dating thing. Posted a picture who looked like you, all censored up.
Oh my fucking god.
Of course, Leo finds him there.
Of course. Leo, you creepy bastard.
What else would he be doing? I feel a cold tingle come up my spine for the fingertips of those words. And I thought I could even see me in the background. So I looked around a little on your phone while you were out. A same picture, but not edited for anything, was saved in your image folder. I checked.
Oh my god.
Of course you did, Leo.
Leo.
That's just the same
Please
talking.
grow a conscience.
Chase, you're like 15. You're already turning to complete strangers on the internet for sex shit. You never even talk to me. I would have even gone to this thing. Just with our surroundings. It's the girls again. Again, the girls are there. So we again go to the place in the back. Why do you care so much about what I'm doing? Is that how I am to you? You didn't tell me about all this. So you're queer now, huh? I get that. Just fuck, you could do so much better than old sags on Peyton list. What the hell? It's my business, man, not yours. I need someone to talk to, okay? So have you? Have I what? Yeah, it's... met up with anyone, screwed anyone, so basically it's like, instead of having shagging Flynn, it's, have we done anything with anyone else?
Yeah, Leo never changes, basically.
I have a feeling that whatever we do now will end up with this pathway regardless because of this bit. Guess you get a TJ ride. Again, this seems to be the same point after this.
Yeah.
Do I skip through for a bit, or do we just restart?
Skip through, see if the ending's any different.
Jas. He's telling you he loves you. And then there's the bat friend over there with the camera.
Yep.
I think this is all going to be the same. It looks at all the same text. Kicks the door
I don't see any
down.
difference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same. He kicks the door down, everything goes out. Yep, I think this is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly the same. I think we're just gonna restart a moment.
Yeah.
Right. I guess we'll just do Jasmine.
Yeah.
Jasmine unfortunately doesn't own a cell phone. Not that. Our family struggles with money, so thing hell of a luxury, I guess. I'll check on her place later. So I guess if we just go back to Jasmine's place then. Let's just get the spam button up. I guess we'll just ask Keith. We've seen both those pathways now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's substantially shorter than Echo, but then again, I suppose it is just a prequel, so.
Yeah. It was written by one person, which, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it seems to have been written by one of the two that wrote Echo.
Yeah, it's written by Max Skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the spamming buttons. Oh,
Yeah,
the
I just wish
spamming
it's,
buttons.
like, had a quicker way of getting through different scenes.
I think that's maybe why there was a skip option earlier, but right,
Yeah.
we've done our project, we've done Tell the Truth. Let's just say Leo. Probably go though, I want to check up on Jas. Oh, it doesn't even, it just literally just says, let's go to Leo, and it just moves on. Okay.
I mean, it is what to say to his mum to lie.
Yeah, but the other two
So
at least
I
had a line about it.
Yeah.
Then it's the ice cream bit again. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. There we go. Door moved. What do you need? I imagine we'll probably. I imagine it's probably when she asks how you're doing that she does something different.
Yeah.
How are you doing though? There we go. Filmer raised jaws goalless at the question. She looks up from her phone, resting face down her thigh as she awaits my answer. Her shift of concern is a little jarring, though this is what came for, really, isn't it? As much as I would hate to admit it, her lack of domestic bliss is such a common thing at this point has become a trite topic. It's horrible here, but everyone knows that, especially Josh doesn't need anyone reminding her of her. I'm gay. She makes an acknowledging frown, then takes a seat at the edge of her bed.
I didn't know that was a state of doing, but alright. And it is certainly something to talk about.
Catching Jasmine off guard is a completely rare occurrence, and she's given pause as she gently rolls my phone in her hands. It vibrates once, but she makes no move to answer it.
Well, I had my suspicions.
You did?
You frill your arms when you walk sometimes, and your voice has a slight Valley Girl twang to it when you get excited.
I look on, visibly mortified at this revelation. I did not know that.
There's something about your face too, I can't quite describe it.
My jaw drops. Are you saying I have a gay face? She purses her lips, thinking for a moment.
Perhaps to me, in a way. Have you confided that information about you to anyone else?
I shake my head. No, you're the first, but...
I'm flattered that you came to me with this, Chase. I really am.
She smiles lightly.
If you want me to keep the secret between us until you're ready to share with the others, that is something I can do.
I bite the inside of my cheek and slowly move to sit beside Jasmine on the bed, holding my tail back so my oily fur doesn't musty up the covers.
Ooh.
My parents know, so I guess it doesn't matter now.
Oh?
They caught me looking up gay, not safe for worky stuff on the internet before school today.
Oh. You have your own laptop for that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to take that away from you?
Well, yeah, they've grounded me for much less.
But you didn't do anything wrong, technically. It's only natural that you want to explore this sort of thing. I have some manga here that covers similar topics. Jasmine.
I see her briefly glance to the absent door.
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior anime? Most of them are written by women though, so I don't know how applicable they would be to even be to someone like you.
I find myself squeezing the end of my tail with my fists. I know I look a bit pathetic for doing it, but it calms me for some reason. It's just shitty having them find out this way. Gonna be equated to like sexual deviancy in their heads from here on.
Were you masturbating at the time?
I nearly wring off the end of my tail as I squeeze so tight, my eyes widening. Yeah. She audibly hums, looking back down at her phone in her hand.
I can see why this would make you so uneasy. And even frightened. But this is your parents we're talking about, Chase. I have known them since I was 7 years old. They're good people, understanding. Also, you have a new voicemail from them.
I'm aware. Oh. Sorry.
Would you like to listen to it?
No, I'm good, really.
You're obviously not, Chase. I know you have a therapist to deal with your hallucinations and sleep paralysis, but should you broach this topic as well? I found that building up lots of negative emotion like this tends to attract more bad things. I think it's repeating again.
You've gone kind of quiet again.
I think it's repeating again.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's this Carl at the window.
Yeah. TJ, isn't it?
It's Carl at the window, and we're going to a party, and no one told us about it. Do you want to come? I can't come. And then I think if they just leave, we'll just restart. Because I don't think there's going to be anything different. Oh, and I hope you get your laptop back, is there?
Yeah.
That's like the one other line. Yeah, nothing else is different. And I think it'll probably just be we get there and Leo just does the I was looking on whatever the fuck it was called and found you. So let's just go to the next one, which is Leo. Leo was also a weird paternal vibe going on about him. Oh, fuck. Don't really want Daddy Red Wolf.
Yeah, the words that have just come out of your mouth.
Daddy Red Wolf.
Daddy Red Wolf.
Oh, good lord, Leo.
Someone who was feeling down or about to make a stupid decision, he usually goes out of his way to set them straight. I mean, I don't think you want to be set straight, but kind of let's carry on. Jasmine says this is largely due to the culture he comes from, the whole pack mentality thing. In truth, though, Leo was one of the first friends ever made back when I was 6. I'm sort of hoping this cuts the stigma of bullshit and he'll have an idea of what to do. My thumbpad hovered over his potential portrait in the Messenger app. Alright, here goes nothing. So, can I talk to you for a second? I wonder if I shouldn't have done this punctuation or capitalization. Maybe try and sound a little more casual. Busy but... so... busy but what? Shit. He does have practice today, so I thought he'd be free. He doesn't have practice today, so I thought he'd be free. Managing text messages with Leo is hard enough as it is, but I'm distracted, it'd be even worse. Looks like I can't do it through here. I should talk to you about it in person. I see, okay. Good. Oh god, he always does this. 2 to 3 word responses. He's still probably hanging out with the other football folk outside school. Lucky bastard his own truck now. So he mostly doesn't come home with us anymore. I found myself biting the side of my cheek and quickly forced myself to stop. Okay. And I think it'll probably be the same till we get to speak to him, I guess?
Yeah.
Alright, give me 2 seconds. He doesn't seem in any hurry to respond now. I don't want to fuck this up by badgering him with a whingy revelation that apparently I love cock when he'd rather be doing anything else. As a familiar landmark of the railway and red rocks go by, steadying myself put back over to contacts. Oh, I can contact someone else! So Leo's was so good! We ignore him.
Oh dear. Well, there's TJ.
Yeah, there is TJ. Oh, for fuck's sake. How well was Leo's writ? Well, we ignored it.
I suppose because, like, he was never gonna get your message first. He's always gonna be like, why did you tell someone else, not me?
Yeah, that does seem like the real thing to do. Alright, I found to myself as the thumbpad hovers over TJ's contact image in the Messenger app. I remember when the picture was taken. I was at the old Yee-Yaw Riverway. I just got my cell phone, was asking everyone to pose for a picture. Leo took a real stoic, statuesque expression, Carol gave a dopey smile and made a peace sign, and Jasmine put her best sassy look. Flynn just stuck his weird forked tongue out. And TJ gave a proper polite smile as if the idea of being silly didn't even occur to him. I guess in his mind I made a request and he wasn't about to sully it by doing something for a laugh. TJ takes friendship seriously, and I can't help but feel that that's a quality in someone that would be really nice to have by me right now. Hey Petty King, how's it going? We are doing some Echo, which is a LGBT visual novel. Let me just do a shout out for yourself. So now I know that you do streaming. 2 seconds. Oh, I can lift my keypad up. This is not gonna work at all, is it? No, it worked. It worked. All right. Yes, we've done that one already. Hey, can I talk to you for a sec? I'll keep it vague at first. Dropping a bomb might confuse him into thinking I'm making some sort of lewd joke. Do you want to read TJ's text reply, or do you want me just to read text, please?
Hey Chase, what's happening? Happy Dia los Meros Muchos.
Dia de la Mortes. I am working through some bad stuff. I don't want to go home. Where are you? I feel a bit bad not really indulging in returning TJ's chipper mannerisms, but I don't really have it in me right now. Oh no, what? Oh, so you reading it, sorry.
Oh no, what happened? Mum picked me up and we're finishing up my costume. She heard there was a party happening at Old Parsons on the building at Route 65. We leave soon.
I didn't know parties happened around here outside the backyard birthday stuff. I know TJ goes to a lot of different functions in his free time. Functions. Ugh.
Church shit, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of a popular kid, though pretty much all of them are based around the church and community service activities. They're pretty much never in Echo, though. The only church we have in town is the abandoned one from the Mormon Trail days. I think it turned into a school briefly during World War II, then it shut down soon after. The country tried to make it a tourist thing once, but it didn't work. Back when my parents were still at church, we had to drive all the way up to Peyton at 7 in the morning. I hated it and would whine and complain every time. Sometimes I carpooled with TJ, the vibe was completely different. They'd discuss Bible verses and talk about the weekly self-betterment goals. I think I remember getting in trouble because I kept calling everything dumb when I was in the car with them one morning. I was really cranky. After that, my parents made me ride with them. In contrast, my folks usually just left the talk radio and we drove in silence. Chase, you're making us kind of worried. You can meet us there if you want. I don't think you need an invitation. I'm a bit worried this party was just another acoustic guitar arts and crafts with the elderly affair. But the more I think about it, the location strikes a tad weird-like. Parsons is sort of out there in the boondocks of Echo, which is technically the middle of goddamn nowhere. So I'm not doing too great, but yeah, I'll meet you there. Where any other time I'd pass, but not tonight.
Are you okay, sweetie? I can come pick you up too if you like. I'll call your mom and let her know too if you're okay with it. Like, let her know you're with us. Sorry, it's really small on the screen. I'm struggling to see.
Ah, sorry. I'm a bit startled for a moment. There's a whole sweetie thing before I realise what's happening. Oh, hi, Miss Hess. Could you please not do that? I'll see you and TJ at the party. Because of course, TJ's mum borrows the phone.
I just want to make sure you're okay. At least let us pick you up and drive you.
No, it's okay. I'm with Carl. Don't worry. It's just teenage awkwardness stuff.
Oh. TJ is learning all about that now. We had to buy the first can of deodorant the other day. Oh my god.
Da da da.
I hate this. I hate this. As an Otton, you must be having an even harder time with all that. On account of the musk glands developing, don't you know? We could stop by and do some demusking spray if you want. Oh my god.
In fact, that's probably why TJ keeps bringing it up to Chase, because he's like, from a very younger age, as it were, he's probably been told, if someone stinks, tell them they stink, and then they could do something about it.
Yeah. Oh my god, though. Imagine TJ just walking up to me like, you smell bad.
You smell bad.
Have some deodorants.
I know you can't. I know you might not be able to afford deodorant, so I bought you some. Like, oh.
I'll pray for you. You smell. Yeah, have deodorant.
I'll pray that Jesus helps you with your musk glands.
Horrific.
Yeah. Alright. Oh my god. I didn't expect that when I started TJing that 5 minutes later I'd be forced a conversation about musk glands with his mother. I'm good with my supply for now, thanks. And then I think we're back to...
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, there was a texting TJ out there. Texting TJ and his mother did not help at all. Alright, hang on. Right, let's just spam forward. We'll just ask it for Keith again, because that seems to be the easiest one to do.
Yeah. It's not as long.
hang on. It's TJ again.
Yeah.
I'm good with my supply now. It's really no trouble, Chase. You and Toby's other little friends in your group are like family to us. You mean a great deal to Toby too, especially after everything that's happened. So I should really get you to be that, shouldn't I?
Oh my
Sorry.
god. It's alright. I never had the property to properly thank you. You have been so brave, and your visits to TG afterwards meant so much, Chase.
Just hear the train in the distance.
Oh god, the train in this conversation.
Oh.
The social horror. We haven't seen you much since you and your parents stopped going to church as often, but we'd love to have you over for dinner sometime.
That's just Carl talking as if. Oh, hang on, there's something else.
So I have one quick question for you, Chase. Do you know how to delete messages on this thing? I'd rather not TJ know that I mentioned the incident. He's been doing so well recently.
Oh, God. He must not know that I've mentioned how well he's done.
Ah yes, the lake.
For this messenger app, you go to contact screen, hold over my contact name, then press delete conversation history.
Thank you, Chase. I'll be dropping TJ off at old Parsons Manufacturing Building on Route 65 in a bit. I hope you feel better soon.
Alright, then we're spinning on again.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going by CGS this time, I think we're just going straight there. Spam. Well, the one we haven't chosen is the top one. Carl takes something into his phone before moving along the opposite way we're going before. I'm surprised he accepted the social anxiety is pretty bad at school. Maybe it's just that kind of night. Yeah, this is the same as before.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Let's mention TJ for a second there. So that's the 10 cars. Look over at Carl, look at the... This does not look like a Christ camp affair. Oh no, not Christ camp. Don't see anyone outside here.
School.
Maybe everyone's inside. Oh, it's supposed to... Leo's big red ass, we're looking for TJ's little grey ass.
I'm just gonna get in and look for TJ's little grey ass. Well, you know, his face. Any idea what we should say when we see him?
Hi, TJ. Good start.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Neither of us moves. Let's skip on a bit of brave. That's TJ.
Yep. Boom.
That face is still adorable.
Is. They both are. I want to hug him. Hey guys. I didn't know you had skated that badly. You should see the kinds of. You shouldn't use those kinds of words though.
Carl stares wide-eyed at the sheeted visage before his eyes go into a lull.
Hey TJ.
I legitimately thought you were about to start bleating there, Carl.
Real speciesist, dude.
What's up, TJ? Why are you dressing like a ghost?
Oh, dropped me off about 2 minutes ago. I should have go pick something up for Dad and left. I can't believe you guys walked here. My mom would have given you a ride if you'd asked. Not that I'm against you guys getting exercise or anything. Huh? I think this is the same.
Yeah. Costume last minute. That's the thing we had before.
Yep.
Hang on. Oh, TJ, this is different. Hang on. About to speak when TJ quickly interjects.
I thought I saw Leo here when my mum pulled up, actually. He was by the parking lot with someone else, but when I got out I couldn't find him. That's
weird.
He didn't mention anything about going to this tonight, so it surprised me. Well, you didn't tell me about this either.
I see TJ's shift beneath the costume.
It was short notice, and I didn't think you'd have a costume or anything or would want to come.
The ram holds up the flat of his paw to the sheeted one.
It's fine, TJ, I get it.
Carl steps off the road and onto the smooth concrete at the entranceway.
I mean, it's okay to have a +1 if Leo's here, right? But there are 3 of us.
Yep, this is the same as before.
Yep.
Yeah. I think this is the same as before.
Yep.
We don't seem to get to talk to TJ about it. Yeah, TJ just runs up and gets punched.
You are not a cat.
No, he's not a cat. So yeah, I think that's basically it then.
Yeah. Shorter than I thought it would be.
Yeah, a bit shorter there.
Just a bit. Echo was like, what, 30 hours?
Well, Echo was like 18 episodes of us doing like 4 to 6 hours at a time. Whereas this was a
like,
single
wow,
episode, so yeah.
3.5 hours. Basically done.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it was good. I do think it was good, although I do feel that it was a tad short. Then again, I suppose it is still free, so you can't really complain that much about it when it's a free game, you know?
It's a lot shorter than I thought it would be. It feels like a chapter 1 of a story, you know?
Yeah.
I just want more of it.
Yes, I was kind of hoping
It's
to
not
be
a
at
bad
least.
thing to want.
I was kind of hoping to have one or two more kind of callbacks, I guess.
Yeah. Or for it to just be longer.
Alright. Alright, well, I guess then we'll swap and do the other game. Alright, well, I'm going to take a quick couple minute break just to go. Actually, I'm going to restart the stream as well because this will go on to the end when we do Echo. So, yeah, we'll go back to menu. Just quit and go back to menu, or just quickly close the game. Alright, well, let's see, what do you want to do? One of those, the other ones you were talking about?
Yeah, do you want to do anatomy?
Sure.
Because I don't know how much more, like, awake I'm gonna be.
That's fine. Let me just bring it up, and I'll bring it up on stream as well.
And I know that one's quite short.
And it's hopefully coming up now. Oh. I thought pausing it would be escape to pause it, but no, escape just closed the game. Okay.
I'm gonna run and get a drink though, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to quickly restart the stream. So when we come back, folks, we'll be doing this game, which is a Itch game from Itch by Kitty Horror Show, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah?
Yeah. It's
See
anatomy.
you in 5, yeah?
Yep, see you in 5 minutes, honey.
Wait.
Anatomy. And we'll do the and more because we'll do more games after it as well. I'll bring back up the TTO bingo as well. Not RR bingo, TTO bingo. Alright, give me 2 seconds, folks. I'll turn my camera on as well once we're done. We just change the games and demos. There we go. So that should be there. I'll take the visual novel tag off as well because we're not doing visual novel stuff. We're back doing indie horror. Alright. So yeah, back in 2 minutes and we'll get into whatever this is. So yeah, back in a few, folks.